Hello, LA. How are you? Welcome, 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 welcome. How you doing today? Mm-mm-mm-mm. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. How you do this? Nothing. I don't want nothing there. Shoop, 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 shoop. Hey, Polly. How are you? Or is this Latina? Either way, hello, both of you. It's been a really crappy day. Crappy, crappy, crappy. Oh, God. Sometimes you just want life to, you know what I mean. Yeah, it was a beautiful day today. It really was. Oh, every day, I mean, it's just everybody can have a bad day. Everybody can have a bad day, and I guess this is just mine. You know, I, you know, yeah, just mine. Um, I don't want this. I don't want this. There you go. Yeah. Just my bad day. Hey, Nova, how are you? Yep, yep, yep. I guess I'm very upset with YouTube. Very upset with YouTube, and very disillusioned. Very, you know, I that's what my video was about. You know, it's like does YouTube care about you? Hell no. It's a platform, and they don't care. They don't care. You report stuff, eh, they don't care. And it makes you mad because they give you all these rules. Oh, you can't play music. If you play music, your video's demonetized. And if you use somebody's picture, and you get copyright thing, and copyright infraction, you get a strike, and then you get 3, you're off. But if you cuss somebody out, you threaten somebody, you dox somebody, you send somebody some fake stuff. But see, the only time that they care, they don't even care if you get murdered online. They don't care. They don't care. All they care is about how much money they make until they get in trouble. And once they get in trouble, then they go and they clean up their own they clean up their backyard a little bit. And then when the whatever's not looking, they do it again. And there's no way to get around it. You're right, exactly. It's all money. They don't care till they get a huge fine. Exactly. And I am so disillusioned because, okay, I'm not saying I've never done anything wrong on YouTube. Sure, I have. Everybody knows I have. I've harassed people. I've probably considered bullied people. I have talked crap about people. But I've never threatened people. Hey, Terry, I've never put pornography up. I've never done those things. And yet it's okay. As long as we're making money. We're making money. And then you call them, you can't, there's no calling them. You get in touch with them and you talk to the people you're supposed to do it. All of a sudden, oh, well, you know what they do? They send you these links. I don't want to read your stupid links. I don't need your stupid links. Take your links and shove them up your butt. I don't want your link. I want your help. It's just like everything else. You call a doctor. They don't want to give you an answer. They want to give you these little answers. Hey, Denise, how are you? Welcome. That's what made me mad. That's why I'm like, I'm so mad. I even called Google legal. Google legal. And I didn't call. I always say call. I had to, I had to write them a letter. You think I got anything back? Hell no. It's okay. It's okay. See, and then when something happens, they're always like, oh, well, hey, Terry, how are you? If I didn't say, I think I might have, I'm not sure. Hey, Claudia, how are you? Then they're like, they don't say anything. You don't even get a letter of acknowledgement. Hey, Karen, how are you? You're right. They got a huge fine a few years ago, and then they turn around and they do it again. But see, the thing is, you're not even talking to anybody. And the thing is, all these people that you talk to, like you do a thing where you could report something. So you go on there, and these are some Joes from home with their dog in the background, barking, their kid over there with a finger up his nose, and eating crayons, and you're trying to tell them something, and they're sending you these links. Oh, well, this is what we could do. Read this is how to handle problems. I don't want to read your stupid link. I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't look at your stupid mother. I know how to handle problems, but I want you to do something. You to earn your money. Oh, then can I speak to somebody in charge above you? Oh, well, no. It is just like, and then if you go that one step over the line, just that one step over the line, how dare you? What do you mean? I mean, it's the same thing. If you call the doctor, you get the receptionist. The receptionist is giving you medical advice, and they barely got out of high school. What the hell? I call my veterinarian, the same damn thing. Excuse me, I'm on a rant. I call my veterinarian. The person who answers the phone, only been there a year, can't even pronounce words. I'm like, what? You're giving me advice? Oh my God. And I'm like, where is the professionalism? Who cares? They don't care. When I got swatted, I remember I was on the phone with YouTube. All they would do is send me links. I don't want your damn link. I don't want your link. I want to talk to a human being. And there was no COVID at the time. They still didn't let you talk to anybody. And then they're like, well, they sat there like, oh man, they have their tongue in their mouth and they don't know what to say. They just don't know what to say because they're uneducated and they don't know how to handle. They're only there for, oh, I can't get on now. I forgot my password. Can you help me? No, this is a real problem. Well, this isn't where you go with your real problem. Well, this is what you do. You hit those little four dots up there and it says report. And then, oh my God. And then I said, then when I pressed that, and I put about somebody is threatening me. All of a sudden, nothing. Radio silence to get no response whatsoever, freaking ever. None. Zero. And then you want us to handle problems in certain ways, but you all really don't handle them. I can go on such a rant about poor customer service, ineptitude, and indifference is so-called service industry. That's very true. It's just like, where do you go? How do you do? I mean, I used to work in customer service. I was a telemarketer. I was an insurance agent. I talked to people. At least I would listen and I would give, but there's no listening on YouTube. They don't care. They don't care. And watch start getting the yellow dollar signs. I put the word pornography in my title. The word pornography. Do you know I got a yellow dollar sign for the word pornography? Yet there's somebody on YouTube making a video of somebody jacking off. Seriously? And I'm complaining about it because I find it's horrible. I don't care. I'm older. I don't care. Maybe hey, Michigan lady, maybe jacking off is natural in every sense of the word, but I don't want to go on YouTube and see some stupid video about somebody jacking off. No, thank you. No, thank you. Not for my eyes. And I would be very offended if my kid, even though it says for adults only, it's on the public platform. Hey, it just pisses me off. But yet YouTube does nothing about it. You can report it. Nope. For real, I'm telling you. But you know what? Like I call my vet. I want to tell him, look, I guess it's, I remember I said before, sometimes you're mad and it's not about what you're really mad about. I'm really mad about I can't get through to my vet. I have to drive far as hell to get the care for my dog. My dog is like constantly daily getting worse. And it's like you can't get through, and you get through, and then it's like you get the stupid receptionist. Well, and I mean, bitch, you're the one you all are the one who pushed me into all this. I wanted to do this. Now my dog can't take cough tabs, and then it's like nobody listens. Exactly about what she put up. I'm mad about a lot of things, and it's just like, it's really turning me off of YouTube. It really is. I mean, I remember when I was swatted, all the problems I went through, all the things I've went through on YouTube trying to get help, and all I get, well, I mean, and then if you can't find anybody everybody speaks English, okay, that's not a problem, but their listening skills are so bad, and then all they have is like these things. They send you a link. Here's a link to read this, and here's a link to read that. I don't want your effing links. I read that shit already. I've been on YouTube for many years. I need a person. I need a thinking person, a person with brain cells, who could, with problem-solving issues. I don't need you to help me to get back online. I don't have no problems like that. Or like call the vet or call the doctor. You get these people who answer the phone who shouldn't be doing that job, who shouldn't be giving out medical advice. You're no freaking doctor. You're not even a nurse. You're not even nothing. Hey, Anna, how are you? Well, see, here's the thing, Ellie. I like the girl who answers the phone. I didn't like one of the words that she said. I didn't like, okay. She said, your dog's in heart failure. And why are you telling me that? The nurse hasn't even told me that. I mean, the doctor hasn't even told me. Don't give me words that you don't, and compassionate, right? And like I told her, I said, look. I said, look, my dog came there to get this test done. Okay. My dog came there to get this test done. I want to know the day that you get that machine, I want my dog first. I don't want nobody else's basset hound or anything else. I want my dog first because my dog was there the day that damn thing went down. I told her that. I said, exactly. I said, this is going to cost me hell a lot more than it was in the beginning. I said, I'm not made of money. I said, I'm not made of money. I said, you don't know how far this is for me to go. And I said, you just don't get it. And I've already talked to the nurse, and to the person receptionist. I talked to the doctor. I talked to the doctor, and like, she's like, well, there's nothing I can really do. And I mean, I said, but I just paid you like $500 for some damn tests. And now I have to go somewhere else to get these tests done. And my dog in the meantime is not getting better. And you say, I can't give her cough tabs. So she's coughing. And I'm sure it has to be paid. Oh, I am so mad. I am so mad. And don't give me, you're right. It did hurt me. I'm like, what? I mean, don't tell me shit like that. Not from on the phone. Don't tell me that. We were doing the test to find out everything. And, 2 weeks later, I'm still waiting for this test. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting here. Ginger still hasn't had her test, and we're giving her pills that might or might not work. We could have been doing this all, and they're the ones who say, "Oh, we can help her," and yet nothing's being done. And what happens if Ginger passes in the interim? What happens? Who's gonna get their ass beat? Who's gonna stand up to get an ass beaten? Who's gonna stand up to get an ass beaten? My dog, and then I had to call to find a place that had the echocardiogram, and then they're giving me attitude like, well, that's the vet's job. The veterinarian's a busy person. Okay, so I go to all these places, and there's like 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. Oh, we don't do it anymore. We don't take new patients. We don't have pet dog cardiologists. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am just like, and every day it's like I'm watching my dog, and I feel like I'm watching my dog die. And I feel that. I feel like I'm watching my dog die every day. And it's just like, oh, you know what though? The doctor, this sounds so contradictory. The doctor's good. The doctor's one of the best doctors I've ever had. Okay, for Ginger. I have a place that we've been going for the last 3 years. Okay. And this is like, okay, this place that I've been going before, the only reason I continued going there, it seemed like when I needed something, they were there, and they were right there. Okay. So I was encouraged to try someplace else. My daughter encouraged me. She says, "Mom, take her somewhere else." Okay. So I said, "All right, we'll do this." And then when they called, they wanted, my other cat needed his teeth cleaned again, or whatever, something with the teeth. Okay. We've already had 3 teeth removed. Okay. And I just said, right now I can't afford it. I have a sick dog. And it seemed like, bam, their ears popped up. What's wrong with your dog? And I told them, oh, you should bring them here. And so I'm like, okay, I'll take her here. And they're really good. They are very good. They found out what was wrong with Black Guy. Like the same day they knew he had allergies, food allergies. They found out he has this. They took him off the medicine that the other vet gave him. And, and they just said, hey, this is what you need. This is what your cat needs. Okay, so did really good. Haven't had those issues again. Haven't had the projectile vomiting, the diarrhea, or nothing. It's all good. It took, and then plus removed 3 teeth for my other cat. Okay, so that's, another amount of money. Okay, so then now, okay, they called back because I was supposed to bring it back, and I just, it's a lot of money because every time you get any type of surgery, they want to do these tests again, which is a lot of money, which is no problem. I can come up with it. It's not a problem. Then Ginger. And then I'm like, do I really do this? Do I pull her from this vet to that vet? And it's just, and it's just been like, to me, a shit show all the way around. Everything they came up with, I said, okay, I can do it. We'll have the echocardiogram. Okay, I can do it. I'll be there. When can I? Hey, dear, how are you? And I can come up with everything that you can do. If you can promise you, and then get there, then the damn thing goes down. And then it's like, it's been a shit show ever since then. And every time I call there, I feel like, I'm just not getting the, I don't know. I guess they're doing all they can do, I guess I'm just frustrated, and the YouTube thing frustrated me, and trying to get them to listen to the issues that's going on, and they don't listen. YouTube don't care. Somebody could be trying to get into your, or messing with your account, or somebody can be doing whatever they do that messes up your account, and YouTube don't care. They, or somebody could be putting porn up, and what you consider porn, which is really against terms of service, but you know, it's just a whole cumulation of everything, and then here you are. Here I am making a rant. So I'm done now. I got my how much minutes? 22 minutes of ranting. I give the rest to you all. I just had to say something. Yeah, I mean, and there's YouTube doesn't care about you. Seriously. YouTube really doesn't care about you. And you're right, they've gone downhill. And I think what it is that not that I'm going to say that COVID, because that's just an excuse anymore. They've always been like that. YouTube doesn't care until it hits them in their pocketbook. When things hit them in their pocketbook, YouTube cares. But when it's like just, and one time I had called about, it was a long time ago, about an issue between me and another YouTuber, okay? And all they said was, YouTube does not get involved in creator to creator arguments. That's what they tell me. We don't get involved in that. We don't really solve that. So I guess if, and I hate it when people say, I want to get a lawyer. But I guess that's the only way you can handle anything anymore is if you get a lawyer and you take it offline. Maybe that's what people need to do. And I think that's all people can do. Because, I mean, I get it. I mean, how many YouTubers, how many people on YouTube and how many people have little beefs on YouTube and all that, you're right. You can't rely upon them to do the right thing. Even if your life is threatened, YouTube doesn't care. They don't care. They really don't care. YouTube does not care. And, people have tried to make petitions to get people taken offline because of certain reasons. But you know what, Nova, and if it doesn't affect their bottom line, they don't care. It does not care. Now, if I get on here and I play some music, they don't care if I play music. They just won't monetize me. But damn it, let me put somebody's video up. If somebody reports it, I get in trouble. You know what really kills me? And I think I thought I took the video down, but maybe I didn't. What really kills me is, remember Elvis Travels? Now, I didn't like him as much as I disliked him as much as everybody else disliked him. And I thought he was amusing at best. He was amusing. They took him off YouTube. I know why they did. And it had nothing to do because he used somebody else's videos and they claimed him to be his, and he took all their videos. It was something crap like that. But still, that wasn't life-threatening thing. That was not a life-threatening thing. So you remove somebody and all their work, and you remove them from YouTube. But, well, you can, you know what? That's the thing about YouTube. Oh yeah, you can get a new channel. It's not as easy, but you can get a new channel. You can always get a new channel. And he had a good enough following where, not like I said, not that I liked him or anything. I thought he was amusing when there was nothing else. It depends if Rosie reports it, and I don't know. You got to get it in with these people, and you got to get to know somebody, and you got to. It's like the luck of the draw. If you get the luck of the draw and you get somebody who works for you on YouTube, yeah, they'll do things for you. I really believe it. But it took Rosie a long time to get him offline. Now, do I think he deserved to be offline? At the time, I did. When I look at it now, of all the things on YouTube, do I think he deserved to be gone? I don't know. I don't know. I think if he was trying to get rid of somebody else, I don't even think, I think he uses his own name and stuff. Rosie O'Kelly, she is transgender, male to female. She's got an interesting channel. She lives in Florida. She lives in California. She has this house which they call she calls the Rancho. Uh why do they listen to Rosie? Does she somebody hire? I don't know. It's just who you get, and actually, right? There are people worse on YouTube than him. I mean, we know people who are worse, and I mean, he's got Rosie's got a great channel, and in some people's eyes, and some people not. Travels, does videos, talks, calls in the bottom of YouTube, and I'll say there's been times when I watch it, and I watch her channel, and there's been times when I get kind of tired of her channel. So it's like yes and no. Was there? Yes, she was swatted, but she got them in trouble. They went to jail for that. So yeah, so Rosie is. But you know what? I was swatted, and YouTube didn't do anything about it. They didn't do anything about it, and it was right here on their platform, and they didn't do anything. YouTube doesn't care about anything. YouTube just cares about the bottom line. But again, I always say, what on the way up you'll see the same people on the way down. That's how AOL was too. AOL didn't care about people either. It's kind of at the middle to the end of their big thing on YouTube. I mean on AOL, they didn't care either. Right. I liked, Rosie's interesting. Again, not my cup of tea all the time. A little bit too much. A little bit too much. I get tired of seeing that. Donate to Rosie Girl and all that, but she does put out good content, and I have to say that. It's interesting. She goes places, she does things, and that makes a difference to me. Like if I want to watch somebody talk, and you would be surprised how many. Oh, thank you, Flo. Oh, oh, You're right, Flo. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about it. They just don't get it, nor do they care. Hey, Strategic, how are you? And I don't know exactly, Michigan. A little bit too much skin for me. I don't really, want to see somebody walking around in a tortilla bikini. No thanks. Not in the mood for it. But that's not my cup of tea. But she has clothes on. Now you go to the other side, and where that person made a video where doing masturbation. I didn't like that. And I don't dislike the person who did it necessarily. I don't. I'm not knocking. I just don't like that video, and I don't think it's a place on YouTube for it. I'm not knocking that person's creativity. I think there's a place for everything, and there's a place. Some places, some things don't need to be. That video, if you all know who I'm talking about, I don't think that needed to be up. I think she has skills of editing that is fantastic, but I don't necessarily want to see that, and I didn't want to see it. Exactly. There are places you could put that type of stuff up, you know. What was the name of that video? That place where Cynthia was gonna, she had a channel there. I can't think of the name of the place. It wouldn't be for me, but it's for, like, you can make money for sexual things, you know. If you're not ashamed of yourself and you don't mind showing your body, yeah, OnlyFans, exactly. That would be the place for that video. That would be the place for that video. Not on YouTube. Not on YouTube. I don't know. See, you know, it's like you're pressing the, you know what it is? It's like they're pushing the, and I don't get it. You have a child. You have a child. I mean, you have a 13 or 14-year-old son. What happens if your son's friends see that crap? I guess it's okay. It's okay. I just, I'm a prude, okay? I am a prude. In some things, I'm a prude. I am. I don't want that on my YouTube. I don't want to see that crap. I don't want to see it. I don't want to, you know, but see, I would be, there's a lot of videos out there right now. People who make videos, I don't like it either. Well, I mean, I think it's just like, okay, your kid might say, I'll never go on your page. My kids say they never watch my videos. Never, 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 never. And I said, good, please don't. I don't want you watching my videos. I told my kids, I don't want you watching my videos. Don't watch my videos. If you do, then I don't want to hear about it. You know, but my kids are way over the age of 21. And I still don't want to watch my videos. What I put on my video is exactly how I feel. I don't candy coat any of my feelings on my channel to make anybody feel good. Exactly, Denise. Exactly. I don't care what she does or who she does it to, or excuse me. But it's like, to me, this is like, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, shaking their boobs in front of you. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. You know, and it's like, are you kidding me? You know, sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is more. And sometimes, you know, more is less class, you know. I mean, but then again, you have to wonder who you're trying to attract. What type of person are you trying to attract? You know, who are you trying to attract in your life, on your channel? Do you want somebody with just a heart, or do you want somebody who has some class? Who do you want? Who do you want? I would rather have somebody who has more class and who maybe, I mean, everybody has the same, we all have, you know, sexual whatever, but you don't have to put it out there, put blinking lights. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, I mean, and then we wonder why people talk about you. You did what you wanted. You're getting what you want. You want people to talk about you, we're talking about you. And I told her right up, and if she's in here, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. It's how I feel. I feel like less is more. And so, and yours more. I mean, it's wrong. It's just wrong. And I'm a mother, and you're a mother. I've raised children, and you know, I don't know. Exactly. You know, maybe that's what she wants. Maybe she wants that sort of person. yes, show some self-respect. And I think, I mean, like I said, she seems nice. She doesn't seem like a bad person. I don't know about all that other stuff. I don't really follow it. I will watch your videos, and I do. I get in there, and because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get in there and talk because I'm like out of the age group. I rarely talk in videos. I rarely say anything. I go into a lot of videos. I go to Munchie and Chatting. I'll say, hey, how you doing? And that's about it. I don't say anything. Not to say I'm not there. I'm there a lot, but I don't say anything because you don't learn nothing when you're always moving your lips. Sometimes if you listen, you learn a lot more, And I understand what she was talking last night. I listened to her video. I understand what she was saying. I got what she was saying. But still, out of respect for your child, out of respect for yourself, you have to kind of like say, okay, I'm not going to do this. I used to get on YouTube and say a lot of stuff that if my kids' friends might have heard it, they might not have liked that. I don't necessarily give my opinions on everything. On my own channel, I'll give my opinions on things because this is my channel. But even that, I do pull back a little bit because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't know who's in here and who has this issue, who has that issue. I don't. But I will say on my what's on my mind. And that's one of the things, like, are you kidding me? You're going to allow that on there? I mean, once you allow that, then what comes up next? What's next? How low will you go before it's too low? Are we going to allow people having sex on YouTube? Just put warning, not for 18 or, when you put that up, that's going to make a kid want to go in there even more, I mean, kids are not monitored that much. Little kids have a lot of things, Well, exactly, LA. A lot of people don't monitor. If anybody want to come on, if you want, I'm going to put it up here. If you want to come on, you're welcome to. If you don't, it's fine. Oh, what am I doing? It's up to you all. Here we go. But what do I do? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, but it's I don't know. I'm really disillusioned with a lot of things, and today, and I guess that's why I'm being a biatch, and probably tomorrow will be a better day. It's always a better day the next day, And I've never seen when it wasn't a better day. Today couldn't be any worse. I mean, tomorrow couldn't be any worse than today unless something worse happened. And actually, truthfully, nothing bad really happened today except, hey, Latina, how are you? Hey, KE, how are you? Welcome. I don't know. I didn't. I got a message from her. She's not feeling well. She had, I'll just say, a little food poisoning. Well, quite a bit of food poisoning. So she's not feeling well. I didn't even call her, and I did let her know. I didn't call anybody because I kind of like hopped on here, and I was in a mood, and I needed to talk, and I don't want to bother, And I said, you know what? Let me just get online. Thank you so much, Latina. And how is Polly? How's his arm? But I'm gonna get off of that. I think that's been the topic, was between Angie and Angie and what's going on in the YouTube mean streets of YouTube, and it's just not, things just don't work out always. But again, remember, it only takes one person on the YouTube thing, one person, the right person, to get a message. And, oh, tomorrow's your dog's surgery. Oh my God. Well, I'm going to pray for your dog. I'm going to pray, 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 pray. I'm going to pray for your dog. Oh. But just think, after all this is over, it's all over with. You don't have to worry about it. It'll be done. And now he'll never, well, was he neutered? Well, he couldn't have been neutered, right? Well, he probably, I don't know, could he have had puppies? Excuse me, if that didn't drop. Oh Lord, our pets, I tell you, it's like, I think they become more like our children, they really do. They attach to our heart like that, It's like, oh my God. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, so many people get their dogs neutered, and I mean, I've never had an animal that had puppies or kittens. Never have I, nor would I. Okay, go ahead. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Thank you, thank you. I so appreciate that. Let me see. Oh, do I have to put it back up? Okay. Okay, here you are. There you go.
Here I am.
Hey, there you are. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Looks like there's quite 52 people in here, it says.
Yeah, come on, say something. Even if you don't like me, tell me I hate you, Pam. It's okay. It's all right. I hate me sometimes too.
Everybody in here loves you. Everybody in here loves you.
No, they don't. I can accept that. You know what? I'd rather be around people that don't want it, but at least, if you're in here, I'd rather be in here to say, hey, I don't like you, but I'm here listening. That, I mean, at least
Well, you know what? So you know what? We can safely say then, I think we can accurately say and deduce, everybody here thinks you are worthy of their time.
Well, that's very true. That's very, very true.
Right? We're just, this is 100% facts, right? True facts.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, people who listen, okay, how many times I always listen in the background, So,
Yeah.
at least, I always do. We had a chocolate lab and she had 2 litters of puppies and it was hard for us to part with her pups. It was so hard to cry. Oh, girl, that's why I can't do that. I can't. When I gave away those kittens, well, I didn't give them away. I sent them to the thing. Thank you, Denise. When they came and took them to take them to the what's it called, the rescue place.
That was rough on you, Pam. That was rough on you.
I cried that night. That day I went in there and I said goodbye, and I said goodbye to the cats, and I said goodbye to Splash especially. And I remember I went and I cried. I was like, oh. And then like a couple weeks later I went to the PetSmart, and they have him there, because he's at a rescue. He is at a rescue. And after I left there, I think I felt worse because I even told the lady who's got the cat with had to have the arm removed, or leg, or I call it an arm. And I told her, I said, I so wanted to hold the cat, hold Splash. And she said he would let you. I said, oh God, yeah. He, out of all my cats, even the inside cats, he would let me hold him. So, I wanted to bring him home, and I fought with myself not to do that. And because I can't have that many cats. I don't want that many cats. I don't want that many. Now, she has 20.
Oh my gosh.
That lady has 20 cats. Bless her soul. And, she took I told you, she's the one that took the cat that had to have the surgery to have his arm removed. And
right. And didn't you say she's going to keep him in her own?
She's keeping him. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
keeping him. She's not rescuing him out or anything like that. She has another cat that had to have an arm removed. What happened was he got hit by a car, and this cat got attacked by a dog. And that's why it was like, you know, and I could never catch him. He would never. And I told her, I just talked to her the other day, and I told her, I says, you know, you must have something special. I came in there, that cat seen me since the littlest cat, and he would never let me touch him. If he can jump up in your bed, now he won't let her pick him up or anything, but he's trusting. I says, you know, you have something special. And because I couldn't. I tried like anything to get the cat even come to me so I could get him some help.
Yeah.
And
but maybe
go ahead.
Do you think maybe that'll come in time, that he'll let her pick him up? Because think about, didn't you? I mean, you worked with Marilyn and were so patient, and now she's comes around much more than she did, right?
She won't let me pick her up. I can get her up.
But isn't she much better?
Oh my God, she gets on my lap. Like I was sitting
right.
in the recliner, and she sees all the other cats get on my lap in the recliner. So she started to get on my lap in the recliner. Now she will sleep with me. And even as much as about 2 months after I got her, she was sleeping with me. But I could touch her, I could do everything, but I can't pick her up. And that's okay. I get it. You know, she still always will be a feral, you know, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You do you. And she doesn't like the other cats. That's one reason I didn't want to bring the cat with the paw, you know, had to have, the leg removed, because she's a feral. I believe, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Hey, Seattle. Hey, Flo. Oh, me too. I don't like that kind of video. I don't see a purpose for it. I didn't see a purpose for that at all. There was no, creative maybe, my type of video, no. How you doing, Seattle? I haven't seen you for a while. How you been doing?
The thing that I wonder about that video, the video in question that we're talking about, is because, it's the internet. You know how many places there are where you can upload that sort of content and know that's the only sort of content is there, right? And so it seems to me, if someone's objective was to attract that sort of viewer, whatever you want to call it, audience, fine, you know, takes all kinds, whatever. But if that's their thing, the thing that I find kind of interesting in a certain kind of way is, okay, so there's a reason that you chose YouTube. Now, I don't know, maybe that person also chose some of these other platforms too, but the fact is we know they chose YouTube because people have seen the video. I haven't seen it, but you know, you have, I gather other people have too. So that's the interesting thing to me, is like, why? You know that this is not a platform where people definitely do post that kind of stuff, and many of them get away with it, as you've been saying, Pam. But if that's sort of like your MO, you want to post adult, you know, sexually graphic content, YouTube is not known for that, you know. So I think it's, to me, I don't know, I guess maybe in a sense of kind of just...
She does post a lot of kind of like, and that's not her only video at all. They said there's another one out there. I don't know. But you were away in a cabin. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, welcome back. Were you on vacation?
Wow, cabin.
She does a lot of different sort of stuff, you know, a lot of different sort of stuff. How you doing,
Rebecca? Did she say why? Was it accompanied by any sort of...
It was a song. I don't know what type of song it was.
So it's a music video? Is that it? It's like a music video?
That's what it was intended on being. I don't know.
Okay.
All I saw, it was like her jumping around in the snow, throwing snow up in the air, and, you know, and then...
So it's her. Okay. Yeah, but it is her then. Okay. That was my question. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the video, and She always has that thing, and then it's like a lot of graphic stuff, and then there was a guy like these little gifs where guys with erections, and it's just like, and that was sort of funny. That part was kind of funny because it was just like animated sort of kind of thing, but then the other. It looked, now she said it wasn't even a real one. Okay, maybe not. But still, I don't think it was appropriate. I just don't think that was appropriate. But then again, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for the whole YouTube community. Obviously, YouTube thought it was great. I mean, it might even be on their platform. Might even, have little advertisements of this going around. T-shirts.
Oh, God.
Maybe she's a genius. Maybe she's a genius, But then again, maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe I better get over there before somebody pulls it down if it's a genius thing, huh? I love art. Some of my best friends are artists, for real.
I mean, yeah, I guess it could be considered art, It's I mean, art is different. It's a different perspectives, right?
Yeah.
Art is in your own perspective. What is art and what is text?
There was, that funny, have you ever heard of that funny, I think it was a Senate hearing years ago, maybe in the 50s or the 60s, or maybe it was before a hearing before the House Un-American Activities Committee or something like that. And one of the senators, I think it was, I could be getting this wrong about who exactly it was, but there was an argument raging over pornography. Actually, you know what I think it might have been? I think it might have been when People versus Larry Flint. Are you familiar with that?
Oh yeah,
right. And one of the government officials, or whether elected officials, said, he was being pressed to, well, what is pornography? We need you to define it in order for us to have legislation, et cetera, et cetera. And he said, well, I don't know what it is, but I know it when I see it. And a lot of people thought that was so funny. Precisely because of what you just said, it is kind of a subjective thing.
It's subjective. Yeah, I was going to tell her. Yeah, you're right. It is subjective. I mean, okay, is it pornography if a woman bears her breast? Not really. I don't.
Well, I heard an interesting debate years ago. People were talking about. They were talking about all kinds of things. It was about movies, though. This was before YouTube. This might have been, I don't know, 20 years ago. And someone quoted a woman. I don't know who it was. It's probably some woman in the women's movement / feminist movement. That's probably who it was.
Angela, of course, we are talking about you. If you didn't have the video up, we wouldn't be talking about you. Come and join the chat. Would you like to come on panel?
Yeah, come on. Is this the lady with the video?
Please. Yeah,
Angela, come on. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd like to ask you a couple things. I'm real interested in this subject, actually.
Please come on. You're welcome to come. I have no qualms. I'll talk about it because that's why you put it here, for it to be talked about. Isn't that right? Is not right? You put the video so it could be talked about. Am I right? Because if you didn't think anybody would talk about it, you wouldn't have put that up. Right?
Come discuss, Angie. I've never visited your channel. I think I've seen your name in here before, but yeah, I'd love to hear kind of like your rationale and stuff like that.
I mean, I have no, I'm not going to back off or anything. I'm going to give you my opinion. I mean, if you put a video up, just like me, if I put a video up, at least I want people to look at it. And if they have opinions, give me their opinions. I'm not dogging you. I'm not calling you names. I'm just saying, no, did I think it was appropriate for YouTube? No, I don't. But go ahead. Tell us why. Tell us your side, because it seems like you don't give your side. You just get mad and leave. Why not just side?
Yeah, I have a feeling Angie's is not going to have much more to say.
Well, I mean, that's on her. Everybody has a right. If you don't want people to talk about you, don't say it. If you don't want people to talk about you, don't put it up there. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's the reaction you're getting is because it is so shocking.
Well, for this platform, just as I said, there are in infinite numbers. Well, not literally, but there are oodles and oodles of platforms all over the internet that cater to that clientele, that audience, that, you know, so I don't know. It could be Angie. I don't know if you're still here or not.
Here, look, she said, I'm not in a good state today. I've given my side. I get it. But see, Angie, let me explain something to you. I'm not dogging you. I'm just telling you, I don't think this is the place it should be. I think that this is not the platform for it. This is more like a family sort of thing. Not that necessarily, you know, I think there are kids here. When you put adult, that's going to make kids want to go there more so. I don't like Cardi B, and I don't watch Cardi B. I do not like Cardi B at all, and I would not watch her. But I just have no reason to want to look at a guy jacking off and ejaculating. No, thank you. It just doesn't do anything for me. I think it's tacky. I think it's creative? Hell yeah, I think it's creative, but not for YouTube. Not for YouTube, not where kids can go to. And even though you say warning, sex or whatever, it's not, that's going to make kids want to go there even more so.
And that's, I would love to hear. I mean, Angie, of course, you're not obliged to share your thoughts on that subject specifically. But Angie Lee, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm interested in that. Like I said, there's lots of places, you know, you can put it. Okay, bye. Thanks for dropping in.
I'm not in a good state. I'm going to go take care, Angie. You know, I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and like monitor my conversation, my videos. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about.
No, and I think that's, let me just say, I'm just going to say, this is not my channel, but I'm just going to say as an observer, because that's what I am, and I'm participating with you. But I think that's somewhat disingenuous, you know, to come on and make a snarky comment. Oh, you can't go anywhere. Drama. I thought they weren't about drama. Come on. This is attention-seeking stuff. We all know that. I don't think I haven't.
Right.
Nobody's made me aware that this woman has said, no, I don't want attention for this. Of course she does. Everybody does. That's why they post it publicly. But I mean, I think there are a couple of really interesting actual discussions to be had. Pam, you've made it very clear. That's not your cup of tea. You do not like it. You do not think it's appropriate. That is well within your right to express that. And I don't see why at you or anyone else saying that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even going to attempt to speculate about why someone wouldn't be in a good state. God knows, we're all going through stuff that has nothing to do with YouTube. Yeah. We're in a crazy time, right? But I'm just saying, if not today, I mean, or maybe if not Angie Lee, anybody else who's interested in the bigger, the broader conversation, because she's making a point, and I do think it's a valid point, when she talks about Cardi B and any number of other mainstream, because she has crossed over to mainstream, and has had great acceptance, at least by a large majority of people who watch music videos, Cardi B, and they do have pretty darn explicit, not just visuals, but lyrics, of course. One of her recent hits is case in point, right? So it's clear that as a society, at least in Western society, there is a level of quote unquote acceptability for that. And I think if that's part of Angelie's point, okay, it's a valid point. But my interest, and I don't know if anybody else would sort of look at it through this lens, but as someone who has raised children, and let me just say, by the way, I'm not a moralist, you know, just in philosophical terms. I don't see that as my role in society, but I do have my own thoughts, just as you, Pam. And I think it's important and interesting and good for all of us when we all share our different perspectives. That's what makes us a richer society, I think, and a richer people, to be able to hear each other out and say, well, why? Yeah, okay, I understand. Cardi B, yeah, we know. Lots of people love Cardi B. She's a gazillionaire. Is that your objective? You'd like to make some money? You would like to enter that space? I mean, to me, that's, as a creative person, if Angie Lee is an artist, considers herself a creative, she said it was supposed to be funny and creative. So I take it she's a creator in the sense of having a YouTube channel. But I mean, more generally, you know, if that's part of her intent, that's interesting to me, because I am interested in the choices that artists make, legitimate artists and creatives make, about where, especially if they make sort of borderline controversial or straight up controversial material, how do they decide? How do they make those choices about where they present it?
You know what? I won't even listen to R. Kelly. I will not even listen to R. Kelly. I can't stand R. Kelly. I won't even listen to him.
You mean because of all the recent stuff with the young girl? Well, it's not recent, but
no. When that happened, I would not. I didn't want to see his face. I didn't want to hear his songs. I don't want to hear I can fly, I can swim, I can nothing. I didn't want to hear nothing because to me, it's like morally so freaking wrong.
And you know, and see, again, to me, and Pam, tell me, you might disagree and say, no, I'm not interested. That's not interesting to me. It's just, it's wrong. But to me, again, because the exact thing you're talking about with R. Kelly, we could name anybody in the public eye who is a creator, an artist, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's movies, who does something comes to light, as it did with R. Kelly. I don't think there's any question now. I mean, there are videos. He's admitted some of these behaviors with grossly underage girls, right? 13, 14, I think 12 at one point, however young Aaliyah was when he got mixed up with her. So that's not in question. It's not a question of validity. We know it's valid. So now you have some people who say, well, yes, that's true, but I can compartmentalize. I can separate the art from the artist. The man. How are you? And some people cannot do that, or they just choose not to. Again, to me, that's an interesting conversation, because I have friends all over the place and family who some are like, well, I mean, I can still enjoy I Believe I Can Fly. That's a great song. And then I have other people who say, no, that disgusts me. He's vile. It's, makes me ill. As you said, even just to look at the man's face.
Well, and let's just, and I'll bring it out here. I love Elvis Presley, right? I didn't like the idea. I mean, okay, back then, he was what? She was 15, 14 or something like that. When he got with Priscilla, okay? So let's just put it out there, okay? What do I think morally? I think first of all, yeah, it was wrong. Yeah, I think it was horribly wrong. Do I think his morals were on point at that time? No, I don't think he was thinking clearly. And do I think the laws were the same as they are today? I don't think they were. But even in a book I read, people warned him about being with her because she was so much younger than he was, 10 years,
Right.
And so now I love Elvis Presley. And so I can separate that from him and her. But the only thing different, I guess the other thing is different because I like Elvis Presley, but I do know my morals and his morals were probably in the wrong spot. Her parents allowing that to happen in the wrong spot, thinking, how will you let your kid go be with an adult man? I mean,
right.
And then I look at Cardi B. I just think she's a hot mess, and I think R. Kelly. I mean, and
he's a predator. R. Kelly was a predator,
right? Well, I mean, my kids. It was the same time my kids were young. He was the big one out there. I believe I can fly.
Oh my God, I know. My son's kindergarten class sang that. Are you kidding me? At their little recital, we have video of my child.
At the same time, and here you are. You're over here pissing on somebody.
I know.
And did he go to? Does he deserve to be in prison? Well, hell yeah, he did a lot of bad things. But like you said, can you separate the talent from the person? Yeah, I guess you can. But do I?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's an ongoing in that world, in that sphere.
Right.
Of creatives and artists. It's an ongoing discussion. It's similar to the thing about art and commerce. Some people think, any artist who's legitimate shouldn't be in it for the money, blah, 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 whatever. Right. But I think, like, to your point about Elvis, because you mentioned that before, and I told you, I give you credit for, keeping it 100% intellectually honest and not trying to make excuses and say, well, yeah, but that's different. You're acknowledging that it could appear to be, well, you can't have it both ways. But here's the thing, though. But maybe you can. Maybe people can have it. Not that they're having it both ways, but rather that each of us individually as autonomous, sovereign individuals, if I can kind of use a really bloated term there. But what I just simply mean is we all have our own minds. And so therefore, I believe we can and should draw our own lines based on our own value system. It could be for you, you're like, okay, look, as far as we know, the storyline with Elvis is that he respected that, that line of her being a minor and waited, maybe, did they fool around? We don't know. But nothing horrible has come out that I'm aware, and you probably would know better than I. As far as we know, he did wait. He did wait until she was of age, right? So
said she did. She said they never had sex.
Right. That was my understanding too. So see, that is different. That is different. And I don't think it's a thing of saying it's different, but it's really not. No, it actually is. That is very different. God knows it's different than the R. Kelly stuff. And so I do think there are grades of some of these things that some people might to varying extent consider taboo. What I think is unacceptable or socially wrong or morally indefensible or any of that stuff is going to be totally different than the next 10 people based on their own lived experience and, their own, perhaps if they have a religious background that might come into play and so on and so forth. So to me, those are legitimate and really interesting, potentially interesting. They could also be boring depending on who's talking, I guess, but conversations. So this Angie Lee here, like I said, I'm sorry that she wasn't interested in having an actual discussion.
If you put it up there, what do you think people are going to do? Oh, Angie, your video is so beautiful and I love it. And just the way that you put that penis.
I never knew a penis could look so wonderful. Wow.
Come on. Okay. Granted, you're in a different age group. I don't know, I think she's like 38, 39. She's not a young chicken. She's
okay,
like
she's not 20. That's not 25. I mean,
no, she's in the same age group as my kids, okay? And if my kids did that, what would I say? If my daughter or son put up a video like that, I would say, what the hell are you thinking about? Take that shit down. And that's exactly the words I would say. What are you thinking about? Take that down. If you expect me to say, wow, that's just wonderful. I just I mean, I see a lot of bad shit on the internet, okay? I do. But when it comes in my circle, and I don't consider her really in my circle, but I do watch her videos on occasion. I watch even my enemies' videos. I watch mostly everybody's videos. If even take a peek at them, every now and you'll take a peek, because you want to know what's out there. I mean, I would hope. And you take a peek and you say, well, what the hell is this? And if you don't expect negativity, then you are fooling yourself. Because that's people's opinion. It's just like putting a movie out. If you're a famous actor and you put a movie out and it's full of crap, what do you think everybody's going to say? That's just so lovely, and I love that movie. It just was so good. No, it wasn't a good movie. It really wasn't. And I'm sorry, it doesn't affect you as a bad person. That was a bad movie. That was a bad video.
Yeah, we could talk that over with Robert De Niro or any number. I've been having this discussion. I was so disappointed in The Irishman, among other things. I wanted to love it so much. But yeah, they learn though, right? They put the stuff out there and people are like, exactly just what you said. What in the hell were you thinking? And then you have some of them who are honest, who say, who was it? Christopher Walken or somebody said, well, that piece of crap bought me a new boat or bought me a summer house or something. Yeah. They make no bones about it. It's like, look, I know where the money is.
Seattle. It's Angela. She put up a new video. I don't know what the name of the title of the video is. It's just really graphic to me. Okay. And it's just not, to me, I don't think it should be on YouTube. Do I think, am I dogging her as a person? No. Am I dogging the video? Yeah. If you can't take it, then don't put it up. And if you think this is like a hate channel, just because I don't agree with your your content doesn't mean I'm hating on you. Oh, freak. Okay, yeah. And it doesn't mean I'm dogging on you. I'm just giving you criticism just like I would if I went to a movie or if I looked at anything else. And if you can't take it, you need to grow up, because it's what, I'm sure people will make. I mean, how many times have people talked about my videos? They don't so much no more, but they used to. I used to get a lot of comments on my videos. I don't really get that much anymore. In fact, I rarely get any, like, oh, your videos are horrible. And, blah, 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 blah.
Well, Pam, I think you're making a good point, because, and I think the point that you're making, really, in that context of what you're saying, the content is irrelevant. The point
right.
that I hear you making is that, look, this is YouTube, the mean streets of YouTube, right? As I say,
Right.
you're gonna have, if you don't have a thick skin, a thicker skin when you start off, if you post anything except the absolute most G-rated, benign, inoffensive, across the board material, if you deviate from that at all, if you intend to say anything about any other YouTubers, you're going to have to get a little bit of a thicker skin.
Right.
I mean, no, let me rephrase. You're not going to have to, because you don't have to. It's a choice, right? This is voluntary. Nobody comes and knocks on your door and drags you to the computer and says, make a creative YouTube channel right now or else, right? So it doesn't work that way. Everybody's here voluntarily. So, but to your point, yeah, I mean, you said if people don't realize they're going to get reactions, of course they realize, and they want the reactions. That's it. Maybe I see someone saying the name of that video is Freak. Maybe she's thinking, hey, it worked for Rick James. Just slap super in front of it and she'll be good to go, right?
You know what, though? The thing is, you can mark a video as like restricted, or like you have to have a name for it. Although it wouldn't be as, okay, it's just like, she's getting what she wanted. Let's just be honest. If you're still here, Angie, you're getting what you wanted, but it's just not in the direction that you thought it would go. You wanted people to talk about. I want people to talk about my videos too. What the hell? Everybody wants their video, and if people don't talk about it, then it's irrelevant. I can't say that word, but it is. If they don't talk about it, then it's relevant. So if you put it up there with the thought, this is going to shock some people. And if you didn't, would you show that to your grandma? Would you show it to your grandma and your grandpa? Look, Granddaddy, look at this. Look, Grandma, how do you like that? Isn't that, I can see, little Angie, isn't that just lovely? Or your mom, Angie, you've done so good. No, that's not the reaction you're going to get. And I mean, unless your mother's really progressive.
Well, Pam, yeah, I don't. Please don't use the word progressive when you're talking about stuff like this. Don't, please. Let's make sure we define our terms. But I was going to say, I don't know. I'm not going to make any assumptions about what her parents or grandparents might do or say, because people develop their own value systems for a reason. I don't know what made her think this is a good idea. Well, yes, I do. Yes, I do. That's not right for me to say that. She said, she said, well, Cardi B, it's good. What's the problem? Cardi B does it. So I think I do kind of understand her line of thinking. It's just simply that, as dumb and cliche as this sounds, just because you can do something or it's legal, really though, is that as far as your thought process goes? Why not? Sure. Why the heck not? I mean, do you give any thought to the consequence or the fallout?
Well, she wants, I think what it is, she wants people to look at it and not say nothing. If they don't like it, don't say nothing. And if you like it, tell me how much you like it. And then, that's not the way YouTube works. And I'm not dragging her. I'm dragging the video. I'm not dragging her as a person.
Because Pam, what do you have against art, Pam? What do you have against that? Oh my God. I'm joking. I haven't even seen it. You got to know I'm joking. I haven't even seen it.
Oh my God. I don't even, Cardi B, I'll be honest. I think I've seen like half of a Cardi B whatever, and I'm not into that, well, see, again, I'm not into any sort of that kind of music, so I'm like, okay, no, not me, not me. And I'm just not. I'm not. There's no excuses. I'm just not. And I know what kind of music and then what kind of videos she makes because I mean, I do read, and I, I again, if that you're getting what you bought. You put it up there, you put this video up there knowing you're going to get that reaction. You're getting exactly what you wanted. You're getting exactly what you wanted, except it's not going in the direction you wanted it to go. You wanted praise and a pat on the back and say, that's beautiful, that's artwork.
You know what, though, Pam? I wonder. Really? I mean, I wonder if really and true. I mean, for real, and when she's just with her own thoughts, I am not convinced that when people cause this kind of controversy, and I don't just mean limited to like sexually graphic content, because there's other kinds of controversy that involves pushing the mainstream's perceived moral compass one way or the other in the extremes, right? When people do that, even though I do think in some cases it's exactly what you say, of course they want positive praise. Anybody would want that. But I'm not convinced that there's not also some element involved that feels like, that old saying, any publicity is good publicity and negative buzz is still buzz. And hey, it's kind of better if people are talking trash about it and how this is just garbage and this is trash, because it's, the thing about a train wreck or a car wreck. Everybody slows down to look, yet while the other side of their mouth is like, oh, that's so insensitive. Why do people do that? That's so insensitive. But they do it. Right, we're all tempted to look at stuff that we shouldn't. Well, I shouldn't say we all. A lot of people are not tempted at all. But I think, like for me, I still haven't seen it. I have no interest in it. And I don't suddenly develop interest just because someone says, yeah, but you don't know how bad it is. It's really, really bad. Okay, I've seen a thing or two in my life. I don't think I'm going to see anything remotely shocking about what this woman has put on YouTube. So this is for a completely different audience than I think probably anybody in this room right now. And I think that's deliberate, really. I don't know Angeli, but I think any claim otherwise would be disingenuous is my point. I don't think that wouldn't fly with me.
I think she's trying to reach a certain audience. I really do.
Yeah. And it's not the people in here.
No, we're definitely not the ones.
Except to generate buzz for her, which is what we're doing now. So we should not do too much more of it without sending an invoice to her. I'm just saying, this is marketing.
Exactly.
If you need me to generate that for you, just let me know.
Sure. But it's just so crazy. It's just, I thought, like you said, I thought YouTube would take it down. I thought YouTube would too. YouTube does nothing about nothing.
Nah, they're not going to take it down.
YouTube doesn't even look at what's going on in YouTube. They set their little numbers or whatever they need to do. If you say this word, if I say F you 10 times, maybe they will probably freeze my thing, or they might start kicking people out of my channel. Or if I use the word biatch like 100 times, I probably get some sort of, let's slow down her chat. So she starts, people gets, you know what I mean? Like, YouTube doesn't care. That's what I meant. Like when I made that video, YouTube doesn't care anymore, because right now they're nobody's looking at them. But as soon as the FCC starts looking at them, or soon as they start getting in trouble for something, all of a sudden their cautions are up and they're doing everything to provide for your safety and everything. But soon as the eyes turn away a little bit, just like the kids, when the eyes turn away, the parents are not looking so intently, they go back to doing nothing. That's all. Yeah. And all they are doing, if you call them or you write them, even to their law offices, because Google has law offices where you can contact them if you have a problem, you're never going to get any.
No, you're going to get a liaison who's tasked with gatekeeping and specifically keeping you away from anybody who has authority to do anything about this. That's the structure. That's the business model of corporations like this, and it works. There's a reason they structure things that way. It's because it works.
And there's like, okay, everybody, a lot of people reported a certain YouTuber who was making threats against people who were on a Facebook. You know, and nothing is said, you know, threats, and nothing's done. Nothing is ever done. I mean, and I don't even know how you would get anything done, because, I mean, threats is like an act of terrorism. You put it up there, nothing happens. Nothing.
Yeah, if someone's actually making threats, because we're talking about something that's offensive to some people, right? But if you're talking about threats, and I'm sure maybe some people in here have experience with this, that's, as far as I know, that's when your local jurisdictions would potentially get involved. And there are ways that you can trace activity on a channel, whether or not someone's using what they think is an anonymous account. Very little is really anonymous online.
Oh, no, this isn't anonymous at all. This person's right out there. She says it in her channel. This person says, you know, I'm going to get you, I'm watching you, I want to be there when it happens.
Well, the person might be surprised with a warrant or a subpoena at their front door sometime. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who we're talking about, but, you know, I could make one or two guesses, but I'm just saying, you know, there are procedures for actual, you know, legally defined threats. But yeah, and I don't know, people sometimes, you know, I mean, we all know in this life, in this world, on and off YouTube, sometimes people just can't quite believe that certain parameters and rules apply to them until they get a reminder of just the right kind that actually, yeah, they do apply to you.
I know somebody whose channel was taken down, and she said something very slight, something very, very slight. You know, they closed her channel out, but see, she was not a creator. She was just a person there with a channel who's just watching, you know, and then now they'll act on that, but not too quick do they act on a person who is a creator, because we're allowed to say anything, really, or a creator can say and do anything basically, because YouTube doesn't get involved in that.
Yeah. I might have to look more closely into that, because I haven't been a creator on YouTube, so I've really only the information that I have is not necessarily information that I have verified for myself, in terms of like the real process is not hearsay and not anecdotally, like someone says, well, you know, when I did this, they did this and this, but yeah, my friend over here did this, and they it's the exact same thing, and they did something totally different. That's anecdotal, you know. I would be really interested though in seeing what the actual documented processes purport to be, because of course, as we know, something can be documented in there, you know, like you said. So Pam, you had me laughing, I swear. I don't think you intended it, but it was funny, the voice you were doing earlier when you said about, you know, how they just send you a bunch of links and like, here you go, just go read this and this will help you, this will solve all your problems, right? And you're like, I don't want to read a freaking link, right? So we all know that they do stuff like that. All big companies do that. They'll just refer you, well, go read our FAQs. That should answer your question, and then come back to us if you have more questions. They're just trying to wear you down, okay?
Right.
But it seems like though, because I think Nova said something, they're about, can't understand why it censors comments, but has that video up. I don't know, I have a very fuzzy grasp of this stuff, like I said, because I'm not on that side of it, like you are, Pam, and some of these folks are in the chat. But I think that you're talking maybe about the difference between something that is an algorithm / non-human, is moderating it. It's not really true moderation, because it's not human eyes. Like with comments, when certain words trigger a comment being deleted or blocked or whatever the case may be, or there's just like a glitch in the system that blocks comments or deletes them. Those aren't human beings doing that. There's no way they're going to pay someone to do that at this scale.
Right.
But when you're talking about actual channel moderation, I think I can understand why, again, from a business sense, that's handled completely differently. It's a totally different process, you know. And, you know, I can see too, I mean, just to play devil's advocate, maybe we mean the literal devil. I don't know. I'm just joking. Everybody just take a deep breath. I'm just joking. I don't even believe in the devil per se. Just to say, I mean, just put it out there. But I can see from the other way around. If I had a platform, if I had my own LA platform, right? It's like YouTube, but people can upload stuff and content. I can see where it would be a slippery slope, where when you get complaints, again, you might have one set of people who says, why do you post so much stuff about dogs? I was attacked by a dog when I was a child, and that really triggers me. I have PTSD from that. In all seriousness, and maybe they really do. Now, it's very easy for someone outside of that to say, come on, that's no comparison. Well, it's no comparison to me, maybe, or to you, but I'm just saying that's a very seemingly benign and kind of G-rated example for most of us. Our sensibilities, right? But let's say they did take down this video of Angie Lee, then I can see from the business side of it where you would have a whole army of creatives. And I don't mean people who have channels like hers. I just mean artists of any kind who create stuff who may never even venture into anything so much as G-rated, much less PG-rated, much less R or X-rated, but just on principle. I know folks like this, so I'm telling you this is how it works. Some people just on principle would say, no, we are totally anti-censorship. We like it if you have a restriction in place, like a wall. And I think Nova said that this video is behind an 18 plus, you have to prove your age or whatever wall.
Do you have Nova? I didn't know, because I never had to prove anything.
I think that was Nova. Let me scroll up. Maybe that Pam, maybe she's only recently restricted it. Maybe she did not have it restricted before. Nova, am I right? I'm trying to scroll and see. I thought I saw that comment. I thought it was from you.
Let's see. Because when I went to see it, it was not like that. Let me see.
Oh, Nova's getting ready to leave. Gosh, Nova, I'm sorry. I always forget that it's so much later for you.
Oh, without a credit card.
How we look at it.
Bye, Nova. No, she said she saw it without a credit card. Usually you need something. If it's like that, you need to prove that you are above a certain age, or something like that.
Yeah, someone had something about it was 18. It was behind age 18 or older restricted. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Nova said to Michigan Lady, it's still there with an over 18 age restriction.
Right, but yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean anything, though. You could still see
Well,
it.
of course. I mean, it's just like out here in the world. If someone wants to see it, and just as you, and I think I said too the other night, we were all young once. I mean, now some of us, we were good children, and we wouldn't seek out quote unquote bad things. But excuse me. You get a young man of about, I don't know, 14, 15, hormones are raging. He says 18 plus. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be something I need to see. You know what I mean? Let's just be for real, right?
Yeah.
And,
I say, I mean, look, I guess maybe, okay, like we talked about censorship. I don't like to censor my channel, really. I don't like to tell people what to talk about. I always say that you can talk about anything you want on my channel, and I mean that too. I really mean that. Now, if in your wildest fantasies and dreams, you're never going to see this. If I decide, well, I'm going to make me one of these little thingies with where Ginger's at. I'm going to put myself topless.
Okay. I could see the buzz now.
And Pam's going to make it topless. Whatever that thing is called, And, I mean, would they restrict it? I mean, I would hope so.
Topless? But, I don't know. Do they allow topless? It's such a don't get me started about
men can be topless. Men can be topless.
Well, I know. That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, or bottomless. I mean, even me with short. No,
with with your Daisy Dukes on, your hot pants from circa 1972 or something, whatever year those were.
First of all,
you were just a baby then. I don't mean literally, but weren't hot pants all in vogue back then?
Oh my God! Heavens no! Heavens no! Heavens no! But I mean, I don't believe in censorship, but I do believe in tact. And and I think we all should develop a little bit of that. Although my tact, my view of what is okay is different than your view of what is okay. Not you, but anybody's view. We all have different views. Like, do I not like to see a woman breastfeeding in public? No, I don't. But do I think it's wrong? Probably not, but I think they're cover that stuff up, but I know people that don't, do I think it's okay to have a guy's wanger out there, and maybe it's not even a real wanger. Maybe it's a fake one, Do I want to see it? Probably not. Do I want to see a woman who's mimicking having sex on a video on YouTube? Probably not. But maybe that's the thing. Maybe I just need to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't just go there. But I do think, though, that it's just a part of society that I'm just out of. I'm just probably too old. And
well,
excuse me, I had to
cough. Do you really think it's an age thing, though? I really don't think it is. I think it really is just an individual.
I think it's an age thing. I do think it's an age thing because I am more modest. I don't like to see people's body parts. I don't especially, I'm very like prudish, maybe. I don't know. I really, I mean, I just think that maybe younger people, they have a more freedom, they have a more of a free way of thinking. And, to see a man ejaculate on a video, that might be not a big deal to somebody who's 19 or 25 now. I mean, it's not a good movie unless you see some sex. I mean, it's not a good, it's not a good movie unless you see some boobs on the screen. It's not, well, I mean, I don't think that, but some people do. And to me, it's a tacky movie if I see an over amount of sex in a movie, and it's hacky movie if I see somebody every other word coming out of their mouth is F. It just screams uneducated and lack of
imagination. Exactly. Lack of imagination, lack of creativity. Except, again, I always ask myself when I see stuff like that, I mean, really at this point, it's not even a question I have to ask. I just know that, okay, the number one money-making demographic if we're talking about films and movies in Hollywood is males 18 to 35. That's it. Oh, yeah. That's a fact. They're the ones who spend the money. And, whether we like it or not, the numbers bear out. They will pay to see that kind of stuff, that kind of content. That's the only reason it gets made. I don't think people who create especially mainstream movies. Now, independent films, different thing. They have a different objective, I think. But with mainstream movies, I don't think it's just like YouTube. This is a capitalist, if we're talking about the United States and the Western world in general, we're really talking about capitalism, and that's about profit motive. That's just what it is, and when that's involved, I think from what I can see and from the people that I know who are in business of all kinds, including the entertainment business and the performing arts, it's a numbers game. And they don't really, honestly, and you kind of touched on this, Pam, earlier, when you were at the beginning before the panel, when you were talking about, I think you even titled something, your previous video about YouTube doesn't care. You were coming at it from a different angle, but I mean, that really is true in a sense, just like in the entertainment business, those people don't care, except I would say, I'm talking about now the sense they don't care except when they're analyzing the data and the numbers. Is it going to make me money? That's what I care about.
Right.
That's what I care about. They don't see a place, a lot of these folks, again, I'm speaking very generally and broadly. This is strictly my opinion. Anybody's free to, disagree, but that's, if they're in that business to make money, if they're shareholders in a company to make money, YouTube/Google has shareholders. That's who they are catering to. That's just the fact. That's business. That's capitalism. So ultimately, if you follow like the dots and like, well, how can anything be done? And there's just, you're hopeless and helpless to do anything about it. Well, that's true. As long as this is the system in which we're all functioning. But there are steps that you can make in your own world, your own sphere, your family, your friends, your own existence from day to day, that mitigate that and that offset that. That's what we can all do. But I do think it's important to understand none of this is a mystery. We know why it happens. It's not because YouTube hates anybody or anything. It's a business. It's a business.
Well, you just hit on something. Okay, you're talking about business. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, now there is OnlyFans out there right now, right? And YouTube likes to compete with everything. If not OnlyFans, what is the other?
And buy it out. They like to absorb everything. Yeah.
And so, okay, say for instance, they allow a little bit more sexuality on sensuality on YouTube because you can go do it on OnlyFans and you pay for it. And then plus, YouTube isn't making any money. So, OnlyFans, a lot of people are going to, I've never been on OnlyFans in my life. I don't know how to get on there. Or I don't even know the direction it's got because I'll get lost in the mean streets of OnlyFans. So I'm not going to go. But I watch TikTok on occasion. Now you see YouTube was trying to compete with TikTok. They did those 30-second videos or 1-minute videos. They wanted people to make, they're really quick videos, and they try to compete with that. Everything is a competition. So maybe that's why they don't take that down. They didn't take that video down of Angie's. It's because it's very similar and it's on the edge of being, I mean, in my own view, it's vulgar. But in maybe they say, okay, or maybe YouTube doesn't even know about it. I mean, I'm sure it's been reported. At least it's been reported. I'm saying it by me. I reported it. I think it was rude, and I think it was just disgusting, and I don't want it up there because I don't want to see no kid go there. And I mean, not that I think their eyes are going to fall out and they're never going to see if they see a penis, but I think that it's not the thing, not a place. If you have your little 12-year-old kid perusing the YouTube channels, they see that, of course, that's where they're going to go to. They're not going to go watching little kittens fall over themselves. They're going to go, oh, can't go look at this. Oh, this is what I want to watch.
Right.
They're seeing that. And will that rage up hormones? Probably not. But it will make curiosity.
Yeah.
It will raise up curiosity. Now, she herself has a 13 or 14-year-old son. Okay, is that something you want out there? When you have a 14-year-old son, making a video where you're pushing sexuality. And, okay, a lot of other people have said, here you go, you're pushing your sexuality and your kid sees it. Will it drive him insane? No. Will it embarrass him? Maybe so. But maybe he expects it because maybe that's what he knows. Maybe mom's just out there like that. But again, I just think that when you have kids, you have to think about them. Everything you do online will reflect back on them, especially if their friends know you are online. Especially if another kid comes and looks and sees it, and okay, again, I don't think it's gonna, rise up any hormones to go, no, but I think it is something that it's pushing sexuality into kids if they've seen it too young. I think it lowers the integrity of YouTube. It's like, oh, now look, they have this on there now. Oh, wow, then somebody's gonna say, "Oh, let's go look at this. Let's go find this. Let's go find that." And all of a sudden, you're gonna start seeing a bunch of those type of videos. Well, they're probably there if you look for them. Everything's on YouTube if you probably look for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, the way I see it. First of all, I agree with much of what you said about the over sexualization and sort of like really, in my opinion, of society in general. And this has been the case since well before YouTube. But the thing of it is, yeah, to your thing that you just now said about how you're sure there's lots more videos like that out there if you know where to look for them. I mean, even stuff that's not as bad, let's say, on a scale, on a sliding scale. I was going to say ruler, but considering the context, maybe we better keep measurements out of it. I don't know. They might be doing that in the next video, if you know what I mean. But I mean, just think of something that to me is just kind of like, oh my God, I just roll my eyes and it's like these kids, you find yourself becoming one of these kids today, right? Twerking. Freaking twerking videos everywhere you look. Now, sometimes they just to me they look dumb, but whatever. Kids like them, some other not so kids like them. But then you have the ones that are just sort of like they're wearing more or less anything you could walk around the streets in. And then you get the ones who are trying to be Cardi B light, real light, because they ain't got money like that. But the production values are just not there. but and there's definitely an audience for that. Now, to me, again, that's kind of like a whole conversation separate from YouTube in general. In some ways, I see YouTube and OnlyFans and all the assorted straight up porn upload platforms and all that stuff, and a lot of lesser kinds of things that sort of skirt the periphery of that, no pun intended. I see all of that as symptoms. I don't think YouTube causes that, although I think now we're at a point where it perpetuates the over sexualization and can hasten it. If you have kids who are young people, let's say young people, because I don't want to like sound, I don't know, getting into hysterics about there's 4-year-olds on here stumbling into these videos. That's not what I mean. But when you have young people who in the normal course of their day-to-day life, it's a pretty typical, what we would think of, even in the digital age, a typical experience. They're not bombarded with too much sexual content, let's say. Okay, they've seen maybe a Cardi B, Nicki Minaj video, whatever it might be. But okay, that's about as far as it goes. That's different than seeing like graphic sexual behavior when maybe they have not had one word of sex education, which is still, don't even ask me why that's still the case, that's still such a big taboo thing. But we know that it is. Parents sometimes are still very hesitant to even go there with their kids. In fact, I've heard people say, well, can't they just find that out? They'll just find it out by themselves on YouTube. They actually, not YouTube, on the internet. They actually sort of like, just because it embarrasses them, they actually not, to the contrary, they don't. It's not that they try to shield their children from this sort of thing. It's like, well, just like, they'll figure it out. To me, that's such an abdication. It's so foreign to my personal way of thinking. But I know that these people exist. I see and hear them everywhere. I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about out in the world. So to me, that's the really kind of sad thing. Not because I'm a prude. I'm not a prude. I'm not, like I said, you and I differ in that way. I'm not offended by that sort of thing. It doesn't shock me even remotely, not even remotely. So that's not why, when I say it's sad, that's not the basis for that. I just think we already live in such an accelerated pace of a society when kids are tasked with things that, in my opinion, young people shouldn't be tasked with. They need time to like figure out who they are without being bombarded by the expectations that come along with visuals of all kinds, not even getting into sex, just like these images, nonstop images on social media that say this is how you look if you want to be accepted. That's so bad even before you get to the stuff that messes with their head and their hormones. To me, I'm saying to me,
girls who are dressing like, like what, 12-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls.
Right, yeah.
Are you
sexualized? Yeah.
Right, and I mean, it started that had started a long time ago, though. I mean, we talked about that one time. What did we talk about? We talked about that little girl who was killed. She was a beauty queen, and
Oh yeah, JonBenet Ramsey.
yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody left. I see 36 still here, but they're the sleepers. I think they brought their cats, but they're listening with their headphones. They're missing all the pictures though. Now,
They're waiting for the topless pics.
yes,
Pics.
they're coming next. You
Sorry,
have
we're gonna need to see some ID. We're gonna need to see ID.
to. Oh my God! But seriously though, it's like, sexualization of everything. And
Yeah.
that's like that video. It's sexualization. I mean, it like she thought it was funny. I don't know if I think it was funny. I thought it was tacky. Truth. I thought it was tacky. I didn't even think it was that good. It was the same heading that she always has, throwing the snow in the air, jumping, turning around, rolling around in a bed. It's about the same thing. And then showing a penis. And with, I mean, okay, it added a penis to it. Okay. So.
I mean, is she, see, I'll tell you, sometimes I just got to take a step back and just kind of, this is an adult we're talking about, right? So I'm just thinking, this stuff sometimes, it just kind of bemuses me sometimes. I'm like, okay, look. So this is why I genuinely was hoping she would come and chat. I don't know if she thought we were going to pile on or something. Not at all. I really had some, if she was willing, or if anybody for that matter who might be listening is interested in this from this point of view and would like to discuss. It's like, okay, well, if the idea is that she said she thought it was funny, and what else? She said funny and interesting, or funny and something. It's a creative, I think maybe she said. So again, It's like, okay, I get it. I'm a creative. My whole family, I'm surrounded by creatives and artists. We're all these hybrid, like brainiac / artist people in my whole world. Okay. So I'm very comfortable in that space. And I have so many thoughts and like curiosities around people who do create, either for a living or just as a hobby, as an avocation, as a vocation. So I'm just like, okay, look. She thought it was funny and creative. Funny. Okay. So funny in the sense of what? Are you fancying yourself some sort of avant-garde artist where you have this whimsical, I'm going by your description, Pam, whimsical, like she's out in the snow, rolling around or whatever. And it's sort of like this fun / funny scenes. And then suddenly, I think you said there were like some cartoon penises, peni, if you will, that were sort of like whatever, just goofy. And then I guess, and then it's like they're for real, kind of like X-rated stuff, right? So I was like, okay, is this supposed to be like some sort of John Waters thing? Some sort of, who are your artistic influences, Angie Lee? This is my question for you in 100% seriousness. I mean, is it supposed to be some kind of thing like that? Or is it, no, really it's supposed to be like a video that I want people to take seriously? Sure, they might laugh. There can be humor in videos, but if you intend it to be taken seriously, a la Cardi B or somebody like that. Some people do take her seriously, apparently. I mean, I'm curious about all that stuff. I don't have to look at the video to be curious about it. And I don't intend to. I don't have any interest in seeing it, unfortunately. But I am interested in the topic. I'm weird like that, Pam. I am weird like that. I admit it. I
went to when somebody says, "Oh, you see that video that she put up?" I was probably ran right through. Let me go see.
See, you were the person she was hoping to get. She wanted people to come in.
I told you. I told you. If you tell me there's a video, I'm going to look at it, and if I can't find it in an alternate view, I will give you the view. And I looked at it. I went through the whole thing, and I was like. And my head turned. I said, "Why?
What did I just look at?"
Why? No, the first thing. Then the next thing I did, I got on my phone. I says, "What were you thinking? You should take that down." And it's exactly the thing I said to her. I didn't say you're a dumb. Blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't say anything like that. And I wouldn't do that. I don't have no reason to dislike her. I don't like the video. It doesn't mean,
You were responding, giving your honest and genuine in the moment response to the video. I get that. And creators, I think, just like we were saying here on YouTube, people at some point, if they want to continue to upload in a public space as opposed to like making all their videos private, right? I mean, seriously, you do kind of have to say it comes with the territory to have reactions, good and bad. And Pam, you certainly have learned that, right? You have learned that. You have been up and down with in terms of how people have come at you and responded and so on and so forth. And plenty of folks here in the chat too, I'm sure, including maybe some of the lurkers. Denise, I see what you said about you didn't find it very creative. Well, see, and again, creativity, to each his own. I mean, there's a range, there's a, it's kind of subjective, but that's again why I was hoping that she might want to weigh in and say, well, look, if you really want to know, here's what I was going for. But I just don't, maybe it's not that deep for her. Maybe it was just like, let me put this up and see what kind of response it gets. And you know what? Is that any different? Is that any different than what everybody does when they upload a video? No, what's different is the content.
Let me tell you something. When I make a video, I kid you not, good, bad, or otherwise. Okay. That's the first thing that I put out. Okay. I'm going to put this out there, see what I get, see what, responses I get. And, when a video goes up and then it said, now it's available for views, right? After, if I monetize it, I monetize it right away. If I know it's not going to be monetizable, I don't even bother. And then I kid you not, I'm always looking at the views and at the comments. And
sure, makes sense. Yeah.
For about the first 2 hours, because that tells you where it's going. Very few times do I get, like every now and then I'll get, how could you say something like that? Or how could you do something like that? But on the most part, I get, I know where that video's going, So, so I think with her, she probably did the same thing. She made the video, put it up. And, no timing, no nothing. I mean, I know timing is everything when you put your videos up. And, I know you should advertise it beforehand, but I don't. It's not that deep to me. I mean, I'm talking from my heart, what I'm doing. And, I want it out there because if I didn't want it out there, I wouldn't put it out there. And if I didn't expect a negative or a positive comment, I would either block my comments, which I don't think I've ever done in my life, or I wouldn't put it up. And I've done many videos that I haven't put up. I mean, you would be surprised if you saw how many videos I have made and I decided against putting it up because I knew it would be not good. And I just said, I just delete it. After I make the video, I'm okay about it,
We'll see. And so there you go. Case in point, there's a thought process involved for you as a creator. And that, that's what I was asking Angelique when she was in here and and you were inviting her onto the panel in all good faith, if I can say so. That was my observation. And she declined. Fine, her prerogative. But that was one of the things that I wanted to know was, what, if any, thought process was there? What impetus was there that led her to choose to upload it to this platform? Now, like we said, could be that she uploaded it elsewhere too.
She might have. Hold on, okay? 1 second, okay?
Sure. Denise, you made me think of something when you said it was far from creative. And I know you're being 100% serious, by the way, so I'm not taking that lightly. But you made me think of something here where you said a kindergartner could be more creative. Have you or anybody in here, within the sound of my voice, have any of you seen or heard of this documentary called My Kid Could Paint That? It's a documentary, and it's based on this little girl who I think she was 3 or 4, maybe she was 4 at the time. And her parents said that they got in the news because she painted, supposedly. The father, I think, was a painter, not famous, but a painter. He painted. And the girl, the parents showed all these paintings that supposedly this little girl of like 4 years old painted. And long story short, there became a time when there was some question. It was called into question. I don't think this little girl is painting these paintings. Right, Denise? Maybe you've seen it. I think I know it's available either on Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime, possibly Hulu. To me, it was really interesting. My nutshell, or in a nutshell, takeaway was, I don't think the girl, when she was really young like that, I think she was, when they, 60 Minutes, I think it was, asked for permission to film her doing one of the paintings, and the parents made a bunch of excuses like, well, she can't work when the video's on her and blah, blah, blah. It was very clear that the girl was not painting the caliber of and the quality of work that these people, her parents had been selling for thousands of dollars, right? Now, I think that the girl now is 16 or 17, and she has continued to paint, and I've seen some of her works, and it's fine, whatever. But no, I don't think she was any savant then or now. But that was really interesting to me, though. And it kind of actually, now that I'm thinking of it, folds into this thing when we were talking about JonBenet and the exploitation of kids in general. In this case, not sexualization of children, but the exploitation of children by their parents, potentially.
So much. Let me just make one announcement.
Sure. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
B accidentally deleted comments, but she didn't mean to. She just accidentally.
She's making waffles. I see. She said she's making waffles.
And so I'm just telling you that she didn't mean to do it. And I think everybody's back. I apologize. That's what she was calling to tell me. Yeah, I think she put everybody back. I do apologize. Okay, we're good. Hey, Sade, how are you? The sexualization of children is terrible. I mean, it happens, and that's why one of the things, like I said, it's you do crazy stuff. People do crazy stuff, and everything is about sex anymore. It's just, I don't know. Everything's about sex.
Well, some people think it's the fall of Rome all over again. If you want to get that deep about it, again, the whole, to me, a potentially interesting side discussion. But there is a certain pattern that past Western civilizations, some of them have followed, in terms of like how society evolves or / devolves in terms of like what they find acceptable. If you remember, when the Pilgrims, Plymouth Rock and all that stuff, the Northeast, they were Puritans, remember how this place started out with all the wanton slaughter of the natives and all that? Oh yeah, they were Puritans, all right. Well, they were pure. They had no problem with the violence. It was just the other stuff they didn't like.
Right.
But, and if you think about it, that's kind of how it is now. Like in a lot of our pop culture, violence. Well, I mean, a lot of people think violence, really serious, hardcore violence in movies, is also pornographic, that it doesn't have to be strictly sexual. It's anything that's a violation to the human body. So anyway, yeah. I could really go off on a tear. I'm really interested in this subject as a broad subject, Pam, as you can probably tell. So I'm kind of appreciate that you mentioned it and brought it up.
We evolved. I'm telling you that sometimes our subject, we start somewhere and then we end up here,
Yeah, it gets so interesting, right?
I got on my rant this evening about YouTube and doctors and calling places, and
yes.
But I really wish Angie would have stayed in here and talked. I think that would have been.
Me too.
I mean, I'm not going to dog her. I have no reason to. I don't have a bone in her fight, or what do they call it, and she's got
a dog in that fight. Yeah.
I don't get any of that fight. I have an opinion, and just like else has an opinion of what's going on. Now, the rest of it, I've heard it, but do I think, I don't care. All I know is that, I gave my opinion about the video and, and whatever else, and I do wish she would just take it down. Let me see, did she even put up, I heard somebody say that she put up another one. I'm like, good Lord.
She's doubling down. Pam, she's trying to make her way to Vegas so she can double down. She better watch it.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Let me see. Oh, I got the Is that
I don't
your
know.
phone?
That was my phone. That was my phone going nutty.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Let me see. Okay. Huh. All right. That's no. Huh. I don't know. All right. Oh, it might be another one. I'm not sure. Huh. Well, that's kind of crazy. Let me see how long ago.
Maybe she's gonna do a whole series.
It could
Who
be.
knows?
You know, it's crazy. You know, no, I don't see. No, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing new. No, I don't see nothing new.
Well,
Um,
you know what? I think as an observer and someone who's not, I don't have my own channel, right? I don't create here on YouTube. So I'm speaking from the point of view out here as an audience member, as a viewer, as an observer. And I will say this, I do tend to, um, well, let me say it this way. My opinion or my perception of creators is
uh-huh.
influenced by how they deal with or don't deal with. Remember, Pam, earlier, actually, you were saying, deal with your stuff. You know, like kids, I think you said it in the context of something like, if your kids, you're letting them run rampant, you're not teaching them, giving them any guidance, et cetera, before you know it, they're in jail, right? And you were saying, just in general, more generally, deal with stuff when problems arise. Well, saying that to say, with creators, my perception of a channel and of a creator, doesn't matter what kind of channel it is, it can be any kind, is heavily colored by how they respond to or don't respond to any sort of tension or adversity or quote unquote problem that emerges at their channel. Now, you know this here at your channel, right? You had, you had your ups and downs. You have talked about it openly, said, look, I used to be doing certain kinds of things that led to certain kinds of consequences. Okay. And now here we are today, you're doing something different, right?
Oh,
That informs how I perceive you and this channel. Same for like any sort of creator who calls themselves making a music video. Let's say, like in this case, Angie Lee. I do ask myself, well, if you're a creator, you're creating a piece of art, maybe you don't call it as such, you're just saying it was just for fun, whatever. I just put it up, just I thought it was funny and people would enjoy it. Okay, but if you don't have any wish at all to engage with your viewers or with people who have an opinion about it, I mean,
right,
it's not that you're obliged to. That's fine. You don't have to. A lot of people
right.
create art and they don't ever want to hear a word about it. They put it out in the world and let it stand, good, bad, or
Mhm.
otherwise. So it's not that I feel like you owe it to anyone, but it just simply does make me, as the viewer, say, well, that's interesting. To me, I think any of us who are creatives have something that we can potentially learn from and have our art be informed by, or our creation. Let me stop saying art because,
Uh-huh.
whatever. We're on YouTube. People are like, what the hell is she talking about? Art. Okay, fine. I understand. But I'm just simply saying anything you create, everybody's creating videos or whatever they're doing here on YouTube. I mean, if you hear someone's opinion, even if they're screaming and yelling and saying, this is obscene, there's something that you can take from that, I hope, as a creator. Doesn't necessarily mean, oh, they said that was obscene, so I'm never going to create that again. But there
Right.
is something to understanding an audience, whether it's the audience you hope for or not. Guess
Right.
what? If that person saw the video, it's the audience you have, whether you sought it out or not. So,
Exactly.
and so how can there be a downside to better understanding that? I
Look,
don't I don't think
you're
there can be.
I want to tell you something, okay? That is so true. Like, okay, it used to be, okay, the only reaction people want on their channel is positive reinforcements. Oh, it's so wonderful and so great. And then, the truth scares people. The truth freaking scares people
Does it
because
ever? Does it
they
ever?
the truth and turn it around as an affrontment. You can't tell somebody the truth. You can't say, I don't think that was the best thing that you did there. That was a mistake. I don't think or in my opinion, I didn't like what you said. Okay, I didn't agree with it, and this is just my opinion. It doesn't mean I don't like you. I just have a difference of opinion. Or I didn't like that video, as I said. all of a sudden I'm hating on you. No, I have a difference of opinion. Damn, does everybody you go around agree with you? I mean, I didn't curse at you, I didn't yell at you, I didn't call you names. Now, I've been on channels. If I said, look, I don't like that. It's not my favorite. I don't think that was right that you said that or you did this or just say, I like blue. Well, I think yellow's nicer. All of a sudden you're a bitch and you're blocked and you can never say another word. And you shut them down. See, everybody wants that person on their channel. Well, not a lot. Well, some people who don't have the mature, they don't have the mature audience. They don't want to have an adult conversation. They want to have an ass kissing conversation. Everything is kissing your ass. Oh, it's just wonderful and beautiful, and I think you did a great job on it. And they know that your shit show. That if I've made videos that were really crappy, and I don't know. I just think, oh, Ginger. I just think that that you have to be a little bit more open-minded. I think that's it. Makes when you're open-minded, you bring more people in. You can't cut people down. You can't tie people into a certain thing. Okay, let me read this. Sade said, I heard Angie Sanders stream earlier. She said this month is the worst due to suicides. A couple people she knew, including herself. She thought about doing this. Oh my God. Well, then she should probably talk to somebody I mean.
Oh, sure, of course.
Anything the thought of it, ideation,
Absolutely, yeah. There, I hope Angie Lee is online clearly. So it's pretty easy to find some help for, even if you're just in the periphery of that sort of thing happening. It can be really scary. And, I think we've actually touched on that before because someone was in the chat who had a similar situation, right, Pam?
Right.
Maybe a few weeks ago. And obviously that's horrible for anybody. Yeah. So I'm sorry she's going through that. Yeah.
Suicide is horrible. And the thought alone, even though you might not really going to do it, just to even have that thought, you know what I mean? It's terrible.
Oh, yeah. And for those loved ones too, if it's expressed or even if they suspect it, it's got to be so harrowing and just like constantly a state of heightened alert, which is very, anxiety provoking, I'm sure. So yeah, it's a very, very difficult situation, no question.
If you start new medications, it can cause the feeling of suicidal thoughts and
right.
That's why I hate psychiatric medications and for depression. They make that feeling worse, especially if you start when you are like, what the hell?
It's so counterintuitive, isn't it? I've never quite understood that. I mean, come on, pharmaceutical companies. Come on. Can't you do better? I mean,
there's drugs that cause that. I mean, I know let me see. Lithium doesn't cause suicidal thoughts. And neither does one other drug. And the rest they do. They cause it for depression, that you take for, they cause suicidal thoughts for the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then, I mean, that's I don't like those medications. Hold for one moment. I have to get something real quick.
Sure.
Here, come on.
Yeah, so Sade, do you mean that again? I mean, I keep asking questions. I kind of don't like to be asking questions to third parties because I'm more kind of person who likes to find out directly from someone. I like the reverse as well. If someone has a question for me or wants to know something about me or verify something about me, come to me. I'm very approachable, even though I might seem like some sort of monster. I don't know, but I'm not. I'm for real. I'm down to earth. But so Sade, do you mean to say that Angie Lee has, it was a live stream that she was on? You said on her stream earlier. I don't know if you mean on her channel. Maybe that's something she does regularly. This all might be common knowledge to some folks in here, but I'm not familiar. So I'm just asking. Really, my heart does go out to her and anybody else, though, involved with that. It's really, really difficult. Yeah. B, I saw you said you burned your waffle. Sorry. Do you know I have never eaten a waffle? Some people don't believe that. They also don't believe I've never eaten grits, especially because I live in the South, but I never have. Never tasted them at all. What happened? Katie Rose Pam is away briefly. And I don't know. I was just yammering about B's waffles. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. All right. I had asked Sade a question to clarify what she meant there. If you see above where she said something Angie said on her stream earlier, I had asked her to clarify. She said MT talked her out of this. She praised MT. She threw away the three. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, I understand. But so it was on a stream, you said? Was that a live stream or something like that? MT, I don't know who that is. I guess I know that there's an MT that comes to Pam's channel sometimes. I mean, clearly there can be 1,000,001 MT, so I don't know if that's the same person. Okay, I understand, Sade. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. That's crazy. But, you know, it's a cry for help. You know, she needs some help. You know, it's really, really sad. You know, hopefully she can get the help she needs, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, there really are. And I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to insert myself in the situation. I don't even know this person. Like I said, I haven't been to her channel or anything. But hopefully MT, I guess, is someone who cares about her. And I'm sure hopefully she has other people around who can. Because sometimes, you know, when you're really in the depths of depression, and I don't know if that's her situation exactly. It could be other things. But you can't see things necessarily clearly. Obviously, your judgment is not what it is at other times, or you wouldn't be contemplating certain things, right? So I hope for her that she does have folks around her who maybe their judgment is a little clearer, although I'm sure they're also in a heightened emotional state that's very upsetting. But maybe I'm hopeful that they can help her find some help. Mr. E. And the E stands, what does the E stand for? Does anybody know? Excellent?
I haven't seen you like forever. How you been doing? I need your videos.
Mr. E makes videos. Should I go look for some Mr. E videos?
Yeah, they're really good.
Are they really good? Okay, you know what? On your recommendation, I'm going to check them out. I'm making myself a note as we speak.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah. So you haven't had waffles and grits? Oh my God.
I have never had a waffle in my life, and I have never had grits in my life. It is 100% true. Not for any like. My kids all like grits, but I don't know. I've never had them. I don't know. Should I, Denise? Really? Am I missing out? The thing of it is, waffles kind of appeal to me in the abstract. You guys are just going to think this is like, what is wrong with this woman? Because of the crunch. They're crunchy, right? Because they got all the ridges and stuff. So that part of it appeals to me. But I don't know. If I'm going to eat something like that, I think I would eat pancakes before I would eat waffles. And even then, I kind of got to be in the mood for it. Yeah. Mr. E is supposed to be a mystery. Got it. Well, guess what? Mission accomplished. It's a mystery to me. It's a mystery to me. You're doing it right, Mr. E. Do I need them in my life, strategic? Am I missing out?
Yes. I like sure. I like grits with sugar and butter, though. I don't like it. Some people like them with the salt on them. Not me so much. Not me.
No, you eat them like my daughter eats them. She likes her grits like that, like you described, sugar and butter.
My daughter rice grits too. She makes them a lot, and so
Uh-huh.
cheese like in the South. I think they put in grits or something. Yeah.
In
Um,
the you broke out just a minute. What did you say, Pam? You said they put something.
they put cheese in the grits. I think they have
Oh
cheese.
yeah, they do. That is an offering that you see down here, and I've seen in other places around the South. Which to
Uh-huh.
me, that does not sound good at all. Like if I look at it, I see someone order it, I'm like, ugh, it's the texture doesn't appeal to me. I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Oh, okay. Now, I don't know. Where's my beautiful face? Oh my God, it's somewhere else. I don't know. No, I'm on which I'm on hideout right now. I don't need my face on here. I got my pajamas on. I'm just like no sugar, no sugar in your grits. But my husband pours sugar in the grits and rice. I like sugar on rice too, and I have not had rice like forever.
Sugar on rice. Now that's interesting. I don't
You
know if
have
I've ever heard. I've had rice, of course, but I did not have it until I was fully grown. Even though I grew up in, Arkansas, I never ate rice. We had potatoes, for like your white starch that you would have with your meal. We had
yeah.
potatoes. We just never had rice. I like rice, but I've never heard of sugar on rice, though.
Oh, sugar on
Interesting.
rice is awesome. Oh my God, it's so good. It sounds so good right now, man. I think I'll have rice tomorrow. I have not had rice in so long, and when my kids were young, and like they would have rice for breakfast, and yeah, it's really 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 good. Oh my God, cinnamon rice with raisins and hot with cream. Oh, that sounds really good. Y'all are making me hungry. Y'all make me really hungry.
Cinnamon. Now the cinnamon, everything except that strategic. Her message just now disappeared, but I hope it's okay. Still comment on it, even though it's long gone. But everything about that sounds good to me, except for the rice. I mean, again, I've never thought of. Um, let me think. Is that true? Have I thought of sweet rice? I mean, I know people like rice pudding, and that's obviously sweet, right? I've never eaten that. But something like cinnamon rice, no, I've never thought of that. Never had it. Never had it. Mr. E, what do you like to eat? Don't say that's a mystery. Everything can't be a mystery. Perhaps you only eat E foods. I don't know. I
Oh,
do
I
not.
want butter and strawberry jam. Oh, that sounds good. Hot rice is good in the morning. Oh, it is. I like. You know what I love is rice with salmon patties. Oh my God, and green peas.
Oh, that sounds so
Oh,
good.
love. That's one of my favorite meals. You eat very healthy. Oh my God, you hate me. I eat like a 3-year-old.
I don't know many 3-year-olds who eat salmon, actually. No,
Oh,
that actually sounds really
oh,
good.
oh, good. Salmon patties with rice and green peas is one of my
Mm,
favorite.
that sounds delicious.
Oh my God. But I do also I like, Rice Krispies and stuff, so I
Oh,
don't know.
Rice Krispies are one of my favorite cereals. I love Rice Krispies. And I do sprinkle sugar on my Rice Krispies. I haven't had them in a long time, but I love them. Mr. E,
Oh,
give us your best. Not to We don't want something that's super super complicated, but give us a recipe, an easy healthy recipe. If you care to. I would love to hear one. See, there's Denise saying her husband had rice for breakfast growing up. His mom put sugar on it. So I just am out of the rice with sugar loop. I've somehow not heard of it before now.
yeah, your grandma used to do that too. She was from where is she from? Mississippi. And
Oh, Mississippi. Wow. Okay.
from Mississippi. And
Yeah.
yeah, they had that. Fried chicken with homemade gravy and rice is oh wow, that does sound good. That really, really sounds I can't
Mm-mm.
eat for nothing. And I don't I'm not a big fan of chicken unless it's cooked really well. And I find that homemade chicken is better than, like store bought or even, although KFC is pretty good at times, but I'm not really a good cook at all. Really not. I'm not really into the cooking thing. I just buy the food, but I don't really cook it.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe you're just not into it. Yeah,
I,
chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles is a big thing in the South, strategic.
yeah, chicken and waffles. We went to, ooh, tonight a green beans, Brussels sprouts with seasoned lamb. Oh, that sounds good. I mean, I like gyros. That's lamb of some sort.
See, I don't care for lamb, but I absolutely love Brussels sprouts. Love them. One of my favorite vegetables. I have to say, I think, Pam, I've heard you say you're not vegetables or a couple that you like. I love veggies. I have to say, I am a veggies person. I love them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're like a healthy eater, then I take it.
Off and on, off and on. You know, I mean, I like my comfort foods, no question about it. But no, I really do. I love veggies. My grandmother had a really big garden when I was a kid, and my mother too. But you know, before my mother died, we all worked in the garden. It was fun.
Oh, so you had fried rice for breakfast in Indonesia, better than Chinese fried rice. Really? Wow. I like fried rice. If it's made well, I like it. Now, some places, nah, right here.
Yeah, that's going to have, I feel like in Indonesia, that's going to be a whole different spice profile than especially what you would think of Americanized Chinese food. That's not real Chinese food, you know.
No.
Wow, see, Mr. E, that's like my kids, my daughter especially. She's a runner.
Oh wow! I wish I could more like that. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think if you develop the habits early, that was the case with my kids. I just want to circle back around real quick because I kind of glossed over it, but I think that I mishear you, or did you say it was your husband's family? Or somebody was from Mississippi?
Yeah, my husband's. My husband was too.
Okay, because you know what? That's really interesting because my husband's father, so my father-in-law's family is from Mississippi. In fact, his brother was state senator for Jackson County. I think it's Jackson County. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, not Jackson County. Jackson it's Hinds County. Yeah. Sure was. Yeah. So they've got some pretty deep roots there in politics in Mississippi.
Wow. Yeah, he lived there, and then they moved up here. You know, back then it was not, it wasn't that great for them.
I know, that's exactly why my husband's my father-in-law left Mississippi. Yeah, he went to Southern California. He's like, they hang you from a tree down there. Yeah, he didn't mince words. I mean, just to keep it real, that's what he said. So that was back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, well, he headed to Southern California.
Now they moved up north where they had the mills at, and good night, Mr. E. Please make a video. I'm waiting to see those videos. Got a lot of work.
I'm going to visit you, Mr. E, based on Pam's recommendation. I'm going to go see what's it all about. What's it all about, Mr. E? I'm going to go find out. Good night. Yeah. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah. Wait. What mistake?
Yeah, I was trying to see what mistake too. Something was a mistake. Hey, Betty T. I don't know if I saw you before.
Hey, Betty. How are you? I don't know if I saw you, but if I didn't, hello. I'm gonna. Oh yeah. So yeah, they never really went back down there anymore. Never went back down to Mississippi. Now his sister, they moved to Arkansas.
Now, that's where I'm from. Whereabouts in Arkansas? Do you know?
Let me think. It's not far from Memphis, but
okay. So that's like isn't Memphis is like east?
Yeah.
Right. I'm from the Northwest, Ozarks.
When I went to Memphis, we stayed right over the Memphis, Mississippi. Stayed at a hotel right there. And because it was so crowded, because there was Elvis week there, and I said, "Yeah, I went to Mississippi, no, Arkansas, Arkansas, yeah, and Arkansas, yeah, and it wasn't far at all, and I mean, I couldn't really tell the difference much, really. I was really surprised at Memphis, I was really surprised at Memphis when I never really went out looking much, because when I get in Memphis, I stay in one area only,
Yes.
I don't go out in the subway because I don't know. And plus, once I get there, I'm so tired of driving. Or when I get there, if I fly, then you're doing Ubers, and overing around, just looking, But I maybe next time I come, I'll go look and see what the Ozarks are about. They never
Oh my
bring
God, Pam, I will take you and tour you around the Ozarks. The Ozarks are absolutely beautiful, gorgeous part of the country. I will say
Oh,
that much. Yeah, really
wow.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping to go this summer. I'm really hoping to go to Memphis this summer. I mean, if I don't, I'm going to be really, well, I mean, depends if, depending on Ginger, how she's doing and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going to leave her home. Whatever I do, I'm not going to leave her home because last time it was really bad. Not that my brother doesn't take care of her. It's just that he will leave her back here all day and not even think about her. I said, "You got to take her out." Oh, okay.
I mean, what can you say? I don't want to be stereotyped and say he's a guy because lots of guys have their dogs and their puppers and whatever, but it's just not his normal routine. I can understand that. But
Absolutely not. It's absolutely not his thing. He loves the cats.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I said I would never do that. I didn't blame him really. I just, you have to with my dog, you have to kind of work with her to eat. You kind of
Well,
have to
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
you got to talk to her. Come on, Ginger, let's eat. I get a spoon. I feed her on a spoon sometimes.
Oh, you encourage her. What about one of those little, I don't know if you ever used with your kids. With my first son, I bought all the gimmicks. I fell for it.
Uh-huh.
Every child after that, it was t-shirts and diapers until they were old enough to wear real clothes. I'm like, no, I'm not falling for this again. But you know how they market for babies, and this is actually a pretty good invention. Those little bitty baby spoons with the rubberized,
Oh yeah,
that would
yeah.
fit little baby Ginger, her
Oh yeah,
mouth.
that's what she has. She has a baby spoon. That's exactly what she has. She has a baby spoon. I got it at the dollar store. And I've been doing this for like the last 3 or 4 years because Ginger, she doesn't have a good, she doesn't eat well. She doesn't
Yeah.
eat. Sometimes you really have to
Oh, bless her
work
little
with
heart.
it. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, now, did you say, I can't remember, did you say that you have traveled with her? I mean, beyond just, like I'm talking about like a road trip? Because,
No,
there are hotels that take pets. That's a
oh,
thing.
no,
That's easy enough.
I never took her because, usually the last time I had thought about it and I drove, I thought about taking her and I said, nah, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And I kind of wish I would have because I just, I wish I would have, but I didn't. And I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
one time we stayed at the guest house. I don't know if you know where that's at in
Yeah, I looked it up actually after you mentioned it. I looked it up. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. I don't think they let
Mhm.
me out there. I don't think so. There's right next door to it is Days Inn, and they do. It's not a nice hotel, but it's okay for what you need it for.
Right,
And,
right.
but oh, the guest house is beautiful. It's absolutely wonderful. It's a nice price too.
Yeah, well, you know what? Sometimes with stuff like that, you get what you pay for. And sometimes, look, if the idea is it's a getaway, it's something that we're planning for, you know, budget accordingly. That's all I ever think. It's like sometimes it's worth it, the experience. But I feel
Oh,
like if little Ginger is up to it, like you said, depends, how she's doing. But I think she could totally go. It's just I don't know if she would with a little bit of planning, so it's not a burden for her or makes her anxious or unhappy or anything, and certainly not, a burden for you, so you couldn't enjoy it because that's the whole idea. You're going there to enjoy yourself, right? But
right, very
I
much.
think I think might be there could be a whole other little aspect of the trip that was get it. You know what? Somebody mentioned. In fact, I don't know. Maybe it was on your previous video from earlier. I think maybe it was in the comments or maybe it was in the chat earlier here. But someone said you should get a little puppy stroller for Ginger. Have you ever thought about that? Like a little stroller?
Yes, yes,
Does
yes,
that sound
yeah.
crazy? I think it might be a
Well,
cute idea, especially if
I had thought about that. Like about a couple of years ago, she had a very bad case of arthritis, and I was going to get a stroller for her. And then she got on this medicine, and
she got
now,
better. Yeah.
yeah, she was on this medicine. Now we're taking her off of that medicine, because it's not good for their liver. And so we're putting on gabapentin, which I don't know how well that's going to work, but it's all about quality of life. If you're not feeling good, I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, let me see. Is it okay? Okay, it was where you can't type in the chat, but you can still see it. It's no big deal. Hey, Katie Rose. I hope you're not. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I wasn't looking at the chat. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
trying to see, what did we miss?
let
Say
me look.
again, Katie Rose, please, if there was something that you said that you wanted to be addressed. I didn't see anything. I thought I was following
I,
along pretty well.
uh,
Oh,
okay.
Betty, I see while I'm scrolling. Betty, I'm sorry. I see you asked, how do you prepare Brussels sprouts? I'm not sure who you were asking. You might have been asking
Uh,
Mr. E, who is
yeah.
now gone, but I prefer them roasted. You just slice them in half. You can get them prepared like that already, peeled and sliced in half at the grocery store if you don't want to do it yourself. It's kind of tedious. Wash them real well, drizzle a little bit of olive oil on them, spice them up with some salt and pepper. I like a little nutmeg, and roast them in the oven on high heat. Oh my God, they're so good. They get kind of caramelized on top. Love roasted Brussels sprouts.
That sounds good. It really
They
does
are
sound.
so good. Yeah, so good. Yeah.
Maybe I'm hungry.
I know. Everybody's getting hungry and everybody needs a midnight snack.
I know, and I can't. But but yeah, I would, I hope to get to go to Graceland this year. Hope to. I haven't ordered anything, and by right now, I would have ordered my tickets. So I'm going to check it out, and maybe next week I'll order my tickets, and hopefully you get a refund if you can't use them.
Well, yeah, to that, the question of that, when I did look, like I said, I looked up the guest house after you had mentioned it, maybe about a month ago or so. And I believe if I was looking in the right place, there, because of the pandemic, there's, like some stuff going on where it's not like normal operating, capacity and hours and stuff like that. But I want to double check again. Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to find out, because I kind of want to go too in August. I don't usually like take a lot of that's a common month that a lot of people do, take off and do things. I would
That
kind of like to do it.
that is Elvis. I go usually to Elvis week. Okay,
Hmm.
that's where they have these
Hmm.
concerts and stuff like that. It's really packed. And it's like it's a certain week. It's usually the week that he died. Okay. So let me
Right.
look. Okay, okay, let me see. Elvis week in Memphis.
Didn't he die like on the 17th or something?
Yes.
I have
And
I have a cousin with that birthday. That's why I always remember.
um,
Katie Rose, now we're talking about possible trips to Memphis during Elvis week in August. Before that, I think we were talking about food.
it's
Um,
August 11th to the 17th. And okay, let's see if they're going to have, let's see. Oh man, I wonder if they're going to do it. Elvis tribute artist events at Graceland. Okay, that's what I go for. I kid you not. That's what I go for the contest. I've been going to these contests. It's like I'm not doing it, and I feel like I miss it so much. Okay, who is this? Okay, let's see. Ultimate Elvis Weekend. Each year, Graceland in March, we host the annual Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Weekend, where past Ultimate winners return to Memphis for 2 nights of concerts at Graceland. Elvis Ultimate ETA contest a week. Okay. Ooh, I guess they're gonna have it. 3 nights of Elvis tribute artist events, including our Ultimate ETA contest semifinal and final. Last year, I didn't like what they did. That's why I didn't want to go because
what
what
did they
they
do
did.
that you didn't like?
They brought back old winners and they let them perform again. I said no, no, I don't want to do that. I like to see the new people. I don't want to see any old people.
Well, I would
So
think now, would it be right to assume that this is like really, really top shelf, cream of the cream?
yeah,
Um, yeah, that would be
very,
interesting to see. Yeah.
very, very good. But yeah. Let me see if I got any. I'm going to check it out. I'll let you guys know because I know we've talked about meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I never stay in my room, B. Never. I am really, rarely in my room. Oh, Key Rose, we were talking about that video and everything like that, and somebody said that she was kind of suicidal. I'm you know, and I guess MT talked to her, and it's really sad. But I did, I was talking about that video, and she got kind of mad. She really got kind of angry. I think. I hope not. Are you there, Key or Rose? Okay.
Yeah, I think Kate Rose. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right or not. Rose. If you prefer just Rose, please say. But yeah, first it was about the video that was sort of had some sexually graphic stuff in it. And people were expressing their opinions about that. But then she popped in. I don't know if you were here, Kate Rose, when Angie Lee popped into the chat just for and said one or two things, and was invited to come on the panel. In good faith, not to like have an argument or anything, but just to kind of like discuss. And she declined and said she wasn't feeling the best, and she left. And then someone mentioned, as Pam just said, I think maybe Nova mentioned, or someone, maybe I don't
Right.
know, maybe it was Nova mentioned that Angie Lee had said something on her stream about it was a rough month because of some suicide issues and some issues with her own situation, I think. Yeah. I don't know if you can scroll back that far or not, but
It's really sad. I mean, I feel bad for her, but all we're doing is talking about the video, and it's I mean, it's out there, it's up for discussion. If you don't want discussion, then you probably shouldn't be there. That's just the way that it is. And it's not hate. It's not hate because people talk about you. It's hate if people don't. I
well, and
mean,
I don't, to me, I mean, my perception, I mean, other people their mileage may vary how they perceive it, but it doesn't even, what you're saying, you're really strongly opposed to that content, Pam, and you're saying you just think it's flatly inappropriate, period. Okay, that's your prerogative, and I think everybody should express their thoughts on it. But you're not saying that I'm hearing, this is not how I hear it. It's not her that you're somehow
no.
saying about her. It's about the content and how you are perceiving the content and your concerns about who might come across as.
I don't know. It doesn't. People have the right to. When you put something out there, it's going to be criticized. It's just going to be. It's just the way it is. There's no.
It's going to be commented upon. Of course, it is. Yeah.
It's just the way things are.
It's called cultural criticism. It's a whole thing in the world. It exists. It's discipline. It's an actual rigorous discipline in some corners. Sade, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you weren't here at the time. In fact, I think maybe you weren't here, right, Pam? I don't think Sade was here when Angelique popped in.
No, she came in and she mentioned, we were talking about it, she said that she didn't think this community, and we don't gossip or something like that to that effect. And it's not gossip. It's not. It's just talking. I mean,
drama. She said drama. I think she didn't say gossip. She said drama. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you think's going to happen? You put up a video, people are going to talk about it. I mean, especially of that caliber. It's not like it's just like a talking video, or I don't talk about any videos she puts up with her and whomever she has on her panel. Do I ever watch them? Sure I do. Do I ever mention them? No. I never mention her videos because, nothing is shocking. I'm not shocked by words. I'm shocked by pictures, yeah. It's kind of shocking to me, but not words. Words don't shock me. I've heard every word you could ever say. I've been called every word too, I guess.
You've scrolled through the whole Rolodex of words, basically, heard and or said in your private moments. Haven't we all? But and really the whole thing is, you said, you're shocked by the visuals, not the words so much. Some of us, like I said, I'm not shocked. I haven't seen this video, but I guarantee you there's nothing in it I would find shocking. But that doesn't mean that it's not required for me to be shocked or not shocked in order to have a thought on it and want to discuss it,
I just don't think that YouTube is the place for that. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. I'm not wrong with my opinion. I have the right to have my opinion, just like you have the right to have your opinion.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. I mean,
that's the world now. Everybody wants everybody to have the same opinion.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Life isn't like that. We don't all agree on. I mean, hell, we all don't even agree on God. One God. We don't believe in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Chocolate or vanilla, or strawberry, or what do you like, Coke or Sprite? No, there's no one opinion. It's just the way it is. It's just how life goes, I guess.
But again, I mean, to me, as a viewer and not a creator, it really is interesting for me to observe. It becomes a whole different thing for me to observe how a creator responds, how graciously, or if they're not gracious, at least there's not this, what was in my opinion, a disingenuous kind of snarky comment. That's not really called for. This is not drama. Nobody's in high histrionics in here. You were venting about YouTube in general, but that's in general. I think we all have our gripes with YouTube.
Right.
we could all go on a tear. Believe me, I kind of went on one myself about capitalism and the whole thing. But so those are the thoughts of thinking people. Why is that a bad thing? That doesn't equal a hater. That equals someone who's processing some thoughts in their own head and sharing it with people who care to gather around and listen. That's what it is.
Right. You just gotta, ease up a little bit,
I mean, I think so. I agree with you about that. Sade, well, I think that's exactly that's what some others were saying as well. They were a little concerned that, this is a person who has an underage son and so forth. And, on the flip side, I'm sure there are people who would say, well, that's not your business. I used to have people say that to me when I I used to publish a lot of stuff online. Nothing like that. It was nothing. I don't mean adult content, but it could be anything that they didn't agree with, that about how you dealt with your family or your children or something. So everybody, just as Pam said, everybody's going to chime in with their opinion. The difference to me is the distinction between creators, artists, publishers, etc., whatever it might be, writers, is how do they respond it and how do they receive criticisms, good, bad, or ugly. Obviously all of us would prefer to be praised 24 hours a day and told we're nothing but golden and great and good and the best thing ever. Well, maybe that's just me. Maybe I would just. I'm just joking, because actually I like to hear when someone takes issue with something, I think, because it causes me to examine more closely why I think the things I do and test my own premises. I know a lot of people, it's just, again, it ain't that deep. It's YouTube. Okay, I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about in my day-to-day life. But anyway, yes, Sade, some folks agreed with you. Very poor taste. I liked Pam. In fact, I was like, I'm going to get this on a what do you call a needle point. You said earlier, you said something like, you said something and you said tact, but there's something about tact. Do you remember what you said? Gosh, I should have jotted it down.
About that video?
Yeah. You said something like, you don't necessarily demand or require that everything be a certain whatever, but tact would be nice, just some basic tact or something. And you said it very succinctly though, and I thought it was very well said, and just the way you said it, because I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, if it wasn't so like, okay, you have a video here of her jumping around the snow, and then you see a penis, and you see a little animated thing with guys having erections. Okay, that's kind of funny. And then you have, a penis. There was like Where does that come from? It was tacky. It was a tacky. That was, to me, I thought it was tacky. It did. I didn't think it. I didn't think that part was creative, and I didn't. I don't think that had to be there. But again, that's my. It was just my opinion. We don't have. We don't. We. A lot of people don't have. They don't. They just do something just for reaction's sake. And I think that's what it was for reaction. And I think that's why she made that. Unless she really thought that was really creative. And maybe in her mind it is creative. I mean, we all are different and we all find, like maybe her focus is sexual and maybe my focus is definitely not, and I'm on the other spectrum. She's on one side. I'm probably on the totally other side. And like somebody say, I'm a cold fish and she's probably hot. I don't know.
Sometimes it's the reverse, though. You know that, right? Sometimes it appears that way, but it's not really that way. I don't know.
But pretty much the way I said I am.
No, I'm not talking about you personally. Of course not. No. I'm just saying, in general, some people say that, but no, but you're right, Pam. I mean, it takes different people, like different things. But Sade's point, though, there, I think when she said she thought it was in poor taste, that just reminded me of what you said about the tact thing. Because yes, some people like this kind of thing, some people like that kind of thing. But I mean, some things are just downright tacky or in poor taste or like kind of cheap. You just kind of like, really? Is that what we've come to by now? And then again, if that's how she wants to use her space and use her creative impulses, then okay, more power to her, I guess. Just again, it's like I don't feign outrage or insult. To me, my thought is don't feign outrage or insult when someone has the sheer temerity to comment on what you've offered up for public consumption.
Right. I mean, people hate. I mean, okay, nobody likes negative opinions. But when you're on a site like YouTube, would you really want to open up your home, your whatever home channel, and where it says the videos that are in line that they pick out for you, and you'll find somebody with dildos and and would you want that on your feed? I mean, you just want to watch some relaxing videos, not some crazy, something like that. But then some people might like that. That might be on their, agenda. Some people like anime. I don't like anime. I would click that off so quick you wouldn't even know what hit. I'm not into that stuff. Some people like makeup videos. Not really there either. I'm not. I just like the things I like, I guess, and I guess maybe it should be whatever you like, but I don't know. I just think it could have been put out there a little different. Maybe even like I don't know. I don't know how you could put something like that out there and think that you know a negative reaction.
I don't really understand this. Do you, Pam, what Sade says there that Angie said she did this video for haters? I don't believe her. She was going on OnlyFans site, found out no one paid to watch it. She decided to post it on YouTube. I don't really get that. She did this video for haters. What do you mean? Like in some sort of, I'll show you. You're not the boss of me. I mean, is that what we're doing now? I don't know really what that means.
Probably, like she probably does have an OnlyFans channel. Okay, I don't know if she does or if she doesn't. I'm only saying maybe she has an OnlyFans channel. And maybe she put that on OnlyFans and you pay to see the videos and maybe nobody paid.
Maybe it's meant to be like the free taste, so to speak. You know how that concept of here's a little hint of what you can expect if you subscribe to my channel. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to make sense of what you said there, Sade, because I don't know. I don't get it. But
people usually go on OnlyFans, though, who are looking for these nice, young, sexy.
Yeah, that's my impression. Although I think you probably do have the outliers and like the marginal fetish type stuff. I mean, we're all adults here. I think we're aware of certain things that are in the world, right? So you do have these things at the margins that aren't really mainstream, maybe. I mean, these things exist in the world, fine, whatever. there's a market for anything, as they say, but I don't know. I don't understand. The part that I'm not understanding is, did this video for haters? Unless she means to generate negative comments. Is that?
Like, I'll show you, and this is what, I'll show you what I can do, and this is, I know you won't like it, and or like sort of being what's that word called, condescending to somebody, like,
right, disingenuous. Yeah, that's how I kind of perceived
like playing your music extra loud just so people will get annoyed, just to annoy somebody,
yeah, that could be.
I mean, hurtful content is shocking. Usually, it's sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. I don't watch everything of hers. Every now and then I do. I don't watch every video of hers, and I could see why. I watch some of them. I think she has talent. I think she has a lot of talent that she could even market and use and make videos and stuff, and make money, but not like that. I don't know. And this is just my opinion, and I shouldn't have to say that 100 times, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think we all get that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's that's well and right. That's as it should be. You're speaking, you're speaking your opinion, you're speaking your observation and your comment on what you've observed and witnessed. I mean, that's, to me, again, this is a public platform system, YouTube, right? It was not a private video. So that's what it's all about, is it has a feedback system built in, for crying out loud, a comment system. Sure, you can turn it off, but you didn't make the video private. So by definition, you're inviting comment.
Well, how, I don't know, on your thing, you set your feed where, okay, the next video comes up, whatever is next in the line to come up, and you're sitting there, you put your maybe 12-year-old, or you put, or even, and you say, okay, you can watch videos, for maybe a couple hours or an hour or something, whatever. And the kid's sitting there watching videos. Maybe they're doing that e-learning, and they're sitting there, and all of a sudden this video comes up. Okay, the kid's gonna say, well, I shouldn't watch this. Oh no, I shouldn't watch this. Oh, Mom, there's a video. You know what they're gonna do? Oh God, they're gonna jump right to that video,
Mom, is this man having a seizure? What's going on? What's wrong with this man on this video? Well, I shouldn't say. I don't mean to. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. But I mean, come on. It's ridiculous.
It's why I say it's not, to me, it wasn't appropriate. It just wasn't.
No, I agree. It's not. I don't think it's appropriate on a platform that is so easily accessed. Like we were just saying the other day, I think on one of your lives, about how the barrier to entry, to access and create on YouTube is so low. And there literally are children who make their own channels, right? And there's been issues around that, thus the change in the terms of service and all those supposed rules and guidelines around content involving. Well, I mean, we all know that that's, questionable, it's sketchy at best, but just saying that to say, when it is such an openly accessible platform, I mean, I would just hope that creators would be a little thoughtful about that. I'm fully aware, oh, believe me, that everybody doesn't share the same value system. And some people, frankly, do not give a rat's what. See how I'm being very gentle and polite and not saying what? Trying to keep this within the realm of, but I mean, some people just really, frankly, don't care. And they're like, grow up. If you can't handle it, well, you shouldn't have your kids on watching video. Whatever. Fine. Maybe they have a point, but it's just, the fact of the matter is that does happen. It's very common for children to be unchaperoned and left to their own devices and whatever. And I mean, it doesn't make it everybody. It's not my responsibility to raise your children. That's not what I'm saying. And, but it's just, I don't know. I guess I would just hope that people would be a little bit conscientious or thoughtful. And if they're not, and then at first, right, and then you have a case like this and some things are brought to your attention or suggested to you, just said, did you ever think about this or that? did you ever think then if you would at least be open to considering it? Now, mind you, she could consider it and say, okay, yeah, now I've thought about it, and no, that's not, I don't agree with you, and I reject that, and I'm going to leave my content exactly as it is. That's within her right to do. But I think to kind of, again, be sort of disingenuous, like, well, my perception anyway, the response is like people don't even have really the right to comment, or that somehow that equals quote unquote drama. No, that's just not the case. So that's the part of it actually that I find kind of telling and annoying. It doesn't make me angry. I don't find it particularly irritating. It's just kind of annoying, much more than this video would ever be. But that's me. See, just as you said, Pam, we all have different sensibilities. That's the part of it that just makes me kind of irked, Right. And it does. It irks me. I'm irked. I'm putting it on the record right now. Put me down, irked. Okay. I am irked. Officially.
Well, I feel the same way too. I think she didn't have to react like that. She could have been a little more, because I mean,
well, sure, yeah.
I mean, what do you think? First of all, I didn't try to hide what I was talking about, and I didn't go. I said, hey, you can come and talk if you want. The bad thing is, see, when you're talking, we only see what you say. After that, I don't see who's here. I don't know who's here, during this time, because there's no list of people who's in my channel. And I wouldn't have changed my content or my conversation anyway, because I'm not ashamed of what I'm saying. I mean, what I say what I mean, I'm not trying to down you. You should come and defend yourself. I mean, everybody has that right. I'm giving you that chance. I'm not sitting up here, oh, you can't defend yourself. I'm giving you every opportunity to. I didn't call you a B, or I didn't call you anything. I used your name. I didn't, no. Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to be getting off of here because I have to walk my dog yet. Well, take my dog out and walk her. I'm going to just take her out. It's like 3 hours we've been on here.
3 hours, that's the sweet spot. I don't know, maybe we'll have to work on editing. Time flies. I enjoy these chats. I really do. And everybody's so wonderful. I like all the input and the questions and the comments and the fun and the fun and the games, and Sade's on point emoji game, ever so tight as per usual. Thank you, Sade. And these burnt waffles, what's not to love? So, yeah, it's all good.
Try that.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you very much.
Everybody for coming out. I don't know where they're at. I don't know if we're frozen or what.
I don't think so. I think a lot of people might be listening and they're away from their machines or their phones or something, but they're still listening,
They could be. Yeah.
Okay. But all right, well, Pam, you relax. Try to relax and get some good rest tonight, and take care of that baby, that little ginger.
Thank you, and sleep well. I'll talk to you guys later, okay?
Yeah, good night, everybody. Take care. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye, all.